some sirloin bites. Daddy likes
6:04 on a Monday morning. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It is the Nielsen Show, locked and loaded to get you set for the Oilers and the Hurricanes on Wednesday, as we still have a few more days to wait to see the Mighty Oil continue this miraculous run as they've won 4 in a row. We got lots to get to as we work our way through the show today. Drags, Rishaug, all the same old culprits gonna pop by today for a little bit of a chat, man. I didn't even realize until right before we started the show, I looked over at you and you were clean shaven. And I was like, I had to do a double take. I was like, oh, what's going on here? What happened here? What's going on?
I shaved my face.
doubt,
I shaved it.
Jeez.
I cut it first with an electric, shaved off the length.
Took it off.
And then I went back in with a fresh razor I bought at the supermarket.
Wow. Any like reason behind this? Any sort of like drive to shave clean?
It was
like,
getting
for the
long, and
holidays,
then
or what?
I decided to cut it. No, it's just that's how it gets. Like you
Yeah.
always have a beard, but it gets to a certain length, and
Yeah.
you're like, and you.
Well, then you got to try to like. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
But now
to
that
trim
you're
and stuff, like,
post CFL, Dustin,
now that I'm
now
a
the
bum
break
again,
comes over. Well, yeah, now you can.
I can
really let her buck.
Grow out the beard a little bit because my wife likes it.
Maybe
if
a
you know
chin
what
strap,
I mean,
hey? I don't know. I was trying to take my job off the orange and blue fasting that we're doing for the next little while. Hey,
Yeah, man, that's
orange
tough,
and blue
eh?
fasting. That's what it is. Orange and blue fasting. We don't
what we're
eat
doing.
anything. We don't drink anything
Yeah.
until the Oilers play again.
Yeah, most of you probably lost 8 pounds since the last time the Edmonton Oilers played a hockey game. You can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Local family-owned business started right here in Edmonton, 22 stores across Canada. Thinking of a holiday proposal? Paris Jewelers, great selection of engagement rings, including lab-created engagement rings starting at $34.99. Remember, the more you pay for a ring, the more you love her.
Would it be something, a nasty proposal, year one, like the new show, Paris Jewelers on board, and you get a nasty holiday proposal from
Wouldn't
somebody
that
out
be
there?
something? That would be amazing.
Let us know if you're planning on it. We'll keep it under wraps.
Let us know if you want to propose in the nasty chat or in the Paris Jewelers inbox.
Right.
Propose now and pay later with their flexible financing options. Do not pay for 1 year.
Come do it in the hangout with Iwanic, hey?
If you want to propose
He could preside over
to
the whole thing.
your girlfriend or boyfriend on the hangout, you can do it. And Maddie will just sit there and like sigh the whole time, like, oh, great. Love.
You get too involved somehow, hey? Like,
Let's get to this text this morning, right to that Paris Jewelers inbox. Remember, you can also win text of the day for A&W. I said they're going to have a new deal starting today, and they do for the month of December. Man, 'tis the season. 'Tis the season for Mama Burgers. For the month of December, you can enjoy 2 delicious A&W Mama Burgers. Wait for it, for $9.99 at participating locations. Most A&W drive-thrus are open 24 hours. That's 2 mamas for $9.99. Not bad. Where most places you can't even get 1 burger for $9.99 in this economy, and they're giving you 2 mamas for $9.99. So go take advantage of that. Your boy Baron texts in and says, "Morning, gents. Can I get a conch from my friend Kevin, who drove down from Edmonton for my birthday and delivered me some sweet 6 o'clocker lager? Thanks." Oh, that's real nice. That stuff is tough to find right now. Now I'm wondering, how far did he have to? He said drove down from Edmonton. So did he drive down to like Leduc? Because that's nice, but or did he drive down to Red Deer or Calgary,
Pincher Creek,
or Pincher Creek, or Lethbridge, or Cardston, or something like that? That would be, or Medicine Hat. In the Hat, did you drive it down to the Hat? Who knows? I mean, I feel like I want to know exactly how far this guy drove it to realize how important it was, right?
Yeah, I hope you got yours over the weekend, though, because it's going to be extremely... You think Christmas shopping is a headache in December, right? Like,
yeah.
Near the end of days here, it's...
There will be more 6 o'clocker lager on the way. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure if we hammer the second batch like we have the first one, the 6 o'clocker lager will be here forever. So
Look at this.
That's really nice.
To Regina, it was.
No, it wasn't.
We're going out of province
What?
here. We're not going to the Hat.
He
We're not,
drove this
it's not
to
cars, not picture.
Regina?
We're going out of province.
Oh, my God.
I know that drive.
Oh, all the way to Regina. Old Conch. Driving the 6 o'clocker lager all the way down to Regina. Well done. Now that's a friend. That's a true friend right there. It's outstanding
A 6
stuff.
o'clocker runner, hey? In a sense,
yeah.
like this is good.
Anyway, a record.
I know it's all legal, but
a record-setting lager is what we've created with Alley Cat and Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. We got some numbers we'll get to as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour. But just know that you're, and I know there's been some frustrations too, because you see the one tweet the guy sent me, and it was like a screen cap of like 9 phone calls to different Sobeys locations.
at least he's phoning him,
That
not
was
going
good.
in. Somebody who went
Yeah.
to 4 different places, drove all around.
Yeah, well, Scott, I was emailing with Haji and obviously Redbeard from Sobeys last night, and I'll give you some numbers on it a little bit later on here in the 6 o'clock hour. But the one email from Scott says, I saw on Twitter tonight that Newcastle has a waiting list for the product coming on Tuesday, 10 flats, and there's a waiting list. A waiting list to get your hands on the 6 o'clocker lager. It was Joaquin Gage who texted me probably Friday or Saturday and said, I have not seen this type of buzz for a beer since, do you remember last time there was a buzz for a beer like this?
Let's say those Molson cold shots.
No. I think we've surpassed Molson cold shots. Bud Light Lime. Remember when Bud Light Lime came out and everybody's like, I gotta get me some Bud Light Lime. Can you believe they put a lime flavor into a beer?
Beer
That's
with
amazing.
lime, yeah.
Gage was like, I don't think we've seen this buzz for a beer since Bud Light Lime. And I was like, wow, what a class to be mixed in with.
I do hope that waiting list has Milkman Rob and JBB
Just a
and the
bunch
Big Big
of
Boys,
names,
all the handles. Please do it like that. Please.
The people at Sobeys.
The hell is this? Yeah.
Like the one guy slid in my DMs like, Dusty, I went in and they were out, but the person saw me, and she must have known that I looked like everybody else that comes in there, because she's like, are you looking for the 6 o'clocker lager? And he's like, yes, I am. She's like, we're out for now. So, the support has been absolutely insane, more overwhelming than we could have ever imagined. So thank you for that. There will be more out, hopefully, right away. And I know Alley Cat's trying to get that second batch ready to go before Christmas as well. Nice little tidbit. Haji from Sobeys Liquor emailed last night when we were going over some of the numbers, and he said they're going to extend the special pricing, the Beer of the Week pricing, $13.99, for an additional week because it was so difficult for people to track down. So there will be the $13.99, which usually goes for the 1 week for Beer of the Week. They're just going to leave that special on for another week, so you can continue to get the 6 o'clocker lager for $13.99. Belineski says Sobeys are going to have to put a limit per customer for this beer.
Haven't seen that since the Bud Light Lime.
Bud Light Lime. This is straight up Bud Light Lime.
You see a hot take, Kev, in the Paris Jewelers inbox there, kind of adding on to the Ya Boy Baron story.
No, I don't see the hot. Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
Kevin from the Ya Boy Baron story, one of my best childhood buddies. It was his 40th birthday, and the timing was perfect. Did a weekend in the city that rhymes with fun. Had to bring him some 6 o'clocker lagers. So there's Ya Boy Baron plus hot take, Kev.
They're both there.
Going at it
The
over
boys are there
some
together.
6 o'clocker
Hey,
lagers. Happy 40th.
shout out to Hot Take Kev. Hey, a little conch for Hot Take Kev here. Look, it's hard not to be excited about it. We'll say that. Boys, I headed into Medicine Hat from Sask on Friday. When I got to the Sobeys liquor store at 3:30, there were only 2 4-packs left. I snagged them both. So good. Somebody else slid in my DMs. It was just like, he was so like, I wonder if I still have it. Man. There was one where he was just... he basically was like, I can't find it anywhere. And he started to get angry. He's like, I did this, I couldn't find it, I haven't had it yet. And he goes, I haven't even tried it, and I love this beer. He's very devastated by it. So
Everything but tasting it.
yeah. We'll see how it goes from here, but it's been an excellent start. Barry the Cheater is in and says, hey boys, can I get a conch for having my 43rd birthday today started with a nice ice cold 6 o'clocker lager. This beer is crazy good. Happy birthday to Barry the Cheater. And Barry, enjoy your birthday. And he actually is drinking a 6 o'clocker lager because he has it in front of his TV with today's show.
Photo proof.
On the TV.
I know it's today
he's not
'cause my
just
face.
saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're clean shaven.
Exactly.
It's 100% today. This is like Lee Harvey Oswald holding up that newspaper.
Exactly.
Right? It's the same. It's
Same
basically the exact same thing. Guys, I crushed a shower 6 o'clocker lager last night after beer league. Damn it, I love hearing that.
Oh, I'd go down a tree.
Best
day,
recovery drink, sort of available. Yeah, we'll get more of them out. I like that. It would be a great post hockey beer.
It doesn't hurt. It's a tall boy, hey?
Yeah, that helps. That helps a lot as well. I had one with my wife on Friday night. We cracked our first 6 o'clocker lager.
Oh, yeah, you're going to
together
have the romantic tasting.
as we watched.
there, yeah.
No, we were watching
Glasses?
We were
Out of
watching
the can?
Star Wars with the kids. It wasn't really romantic.
You have a nice stein that you crack
No,
out for these occasions?
we're like, let's drink it out of the can. You know?
Okay.
And she loved it. She loved it. She goes, there's no real aftertaste to this beer. She goes, I said, I know.
Easy.
It's like some sort of magical recipe that Alley Cat had been saving for 30 years, and they cracked the glass, and like, here it is, the magical lager that'll sell extremely well around the world.
We still got to put it in for those competitions. It will future award-winning beer, 6 o'clocker lager, right?
Well, you know what? We were talking to Scott about this, and he said we basically just have to pay an entry fee to get it into contests. So I say you just hammer it into every contest, and then you never know what happens.
And the fee isn't that. I mean, that's something we could.
Yeah. Now Barry the cheater. You can stop sending his pictures. He says he's taking it into the shower for morning breakfast beer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's enough now. Thank you for the pictures. Bones is in and says, wait until 6 o'clocker lager lime comes out. What's the next beer? Oh, we just put lime into the
Summer's
6
gonna be
o'clocker
a hit.
lager.
Yeah.
That's really good too. So yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more as we work our way through the show this morning. It would be quite the scene to see a limit per customer put on a beer. Like, I don't know if that's ever happened anywhere.
Unit
Like,
limit?
Yeah. Excuse me. You're only allowed to take 2 of those 4-packs. But could you go back out to your car, put them in your car, and then come back in and get 2 more? Like, put on
The old Bobby Valentine.
yeah, the Bobby Valentine mask with the mustache and the Groucho Marx
Hello,
glasses.
I'm here. You do some weird voice just because.
A
I
full
know it's you, sir.
different accent. Change your shirt quickly. I mean, there are ways. There are ways around a beer limit. That's for sure. But we're stoked. Sobies is stoked. Alley Cat is stoked. Everybody's just so stoked. I know I'm setting up the clip, but I actually don't have the stoke clip here. It's just actually
with the snow.
I probably
with the,
do have the stoke clip here with the snow. I wonder if I have that kicking around
Could be
here.
the
somewhere.
day to
I thought I did. I feel like we've played it.
328.
Yeah, well, wouldn't that be quite this? I'm going to find that stoked clip today. We'll play that in here somewhere. It's got to be kicking around. It's got to be kicking around in here somewhere. How was your weekend otherwise, buddy? Like, what'd you get up to? Like,
Good. No, it actually features into my good, bad, and ugly from the weekend.
your weekend does?
I'll
Or
just
the
say right now,
Stoke
it was
clip?
the good. That was my good. It was a sports weekend where I didn't really see a lot of good happening in the sporting world, so I just chose my weekend. So I'll just say this right now. It was a great weekend. I did a lot of stuff preparing for Christmas. I took my wife out for some delicious meals. We didn't have any like plans we had to adhere to.
Did you have sushi?
Yes, we did.
I thought I saw a sushi tweet or
I had
Instagram
had some
post or
rolls and all that good stuff. No, it was just it was a good, solid weekend. I do believe that we've gotten ahead of the Christmas rush, all of the madness. Everything's kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
We're looking at December from an overview, from this zoomed out lens. I'm feeling it. This is great. I'm ready to go.
I'm kind of feeling the same way about the Christmas thing. I got a lot of Christmas shopping already done.
Like you're ready. You got
We
tree
put
up
up
this
our
weekend.
tree
That's
up
good.
yesterday. We did a whole Christmas day. The kids wrote their letters to Santa yesterday. We watched The Grinch last night. Like,
Feeling good.
It was a real productive. I've got the liner in for the rink. Like, it was a really productive weekend.
I've got all my
man.
lights up already. I got the Santa, the plastic Santa. He's
And you
he's
got
humming.
the plug-in
He's hot.
done properly and
It's
stuff.
all good. Yeah, it's all
Man,
good.
everything's
clicking
just
in.
firing on all cylinders right now.
good.
Hey, how can you not be excited with everything?
And then a little dusting of snow to kind of,
just a bit.
accentuate the season.
It didn't seem like it came down for very long, but it must have come
Just
down
a dust.
pretty hard for like
Couple hours.
15 minutes. Was it snow for a couple hours?
I know
Must have been while we were
forecast
watching
was,
watching the movie. That's crazy. Good morning, boys. I learned a hard lesson this weekend betting on the NCAA football championship. It was a waste of money until the Alabama Crimson Tide lose twice for their invitational tournament. Imagine betting on a team that goes undefeated with multiple wins without their best player and they don't get an opportunity to play for a championship. Shame.
Yeah, a lot of bad and ugly coming from.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got to get into this. I'm not a huge college football guy. I like it. I just don't have the time to add college football to my rotation. We talked about this in the past.
Yeah, and you don't have to totally be in this.
No.
I mean, you had an undefeated team that's missing out. But as you know, with college sports, not college football, college sports, this is how it usually works sometimes, hey?
Well, it was so I followed along to the championship games over the weekend and kind of followed how it played out. And then yesterday I was putting in the rink liner, but I had the college football selection show in my headphones. Like I had it connected.
Screw the
I was
games.
streaming
You just
it.
need to watch that.
I was just like, I just got to see this.
Yeah.
And they kept. I mean, I don't even follow it, and I was pretty clear that Alabama was getting in after beating Georgia. I know Florida State was 13-0, but if you watch that show for 1 second, it was like, ooh, who is Alabama going to get in? Of course, the SEC champion is going to get in, whether it was deserved or not, depending on who you talk to. Somebody got me with a pretty hilarious tweet last night, actually. They laid out like this somewhat unassuming sort of resume.
Yes,
It got me because I haven't followed along close enough. I was like, oh, okay, I see why they didn't get in. The guy's like, oh, wait, sorry, that's Alabama's season. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, because Alabama pulled away late from a 6-6 G5 team, needed a prayer to beat a 6-6 rival, a 3-point win versus a 4-8 conference foe, and lost by 10 at home. That loss was to Texas. Texas ends up number 3 here. Texas will end up playing Washington. Michigan's prize at number 1 is to play Alabama, and Georgia. I mean, I know the officials at Georgia were saying, if it is truly the top 4 teams in college football, how is the number 1 team in the country for basically the entire year not sitting there in the college football playoffs? And then they lose to Alabama. No team had ever been 8 and actually moved up and into the playoff picture. You follow this a little bit more closely than I do. I was fascinated by the entire process, and I thought it was hilarious, people thinking that they were going to put FSU with a quarterback that cannot play into that game. Like, they were never going to do that.
They're undefeated, but the conference they play in, you mentioned the quarterback, the injuries. I mean, they beat Louisville 16-6 in the championship game. Michigan shut out Iowa. I mean, it's the SEC, and that's where the power is, that's where the money is, that's where the eyeballs are. You feel for an FSU fan this morning, you feel for the school, the players, and everything involved, but this is how college football works. And as you mentioned, watching that selection show, I mean, you could just feel what was going to happen. And, it gets people talking. That's the thing with college football. It's never short of debate or righting wrongs or wronging rights. But in this case, you kind of shed a bit of a tear, I guess, for FSU. But if you're kind of surprised at the outcome, I you watch more college football. That's how it works. Like, this is.
Yeah, I was sitting there going, wait a second, am I like uneducated college football guy? And that's why I'm assuming that the SEC champion at 12-1 will get into the college football playoffs instead of this huge game against undefeated Michigan? Or are they going to leave them out? Actually, Georgia, Alabama would have been interesting again in that 5-6 game. And put Florida State. It was never going to happen. Yeah. So I was really confused because they were trying to make us believe that they were actually going to put FSU in there.
You're basically taking a giant dump on the ACC, though. I mean, that's kind of what you're saying.
But
don't call it a Power 5 conference. It's not a power. Because
if you go 13-0 in a Power 5 conference, you would think that was probably enough to get in. But it's not. If the SEC champion, I guess, is 12-1 and beat the number 1 team in the country, which in the end is the number 6 team in the country, according to the final. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was. I am fascinated by that side of it.
You can argue until New Year if you want.
Did you ever play NCAA football video games?
Yeah.
There was one when I was living in Fort Mac, so it must have been like 06-ish, 07. I think it was just called NCAA football. Obviously, I get no names or anything on the players. But the recruiting, even back then in like 06, I was like, man, this recruiting process is amazing. Now, is there a college football game now? Is there like?
Well, they had a rights thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then they stopped making it because they would make it with the numbers. Like you'd be Vince Young, you'd be number 10.
Yeah.
Clearly him, but it didn't have the name likeliness. So,
but now with the nil things and stuff, like, could you not maybe fire that back?
I think they're looking at it. Like the
recruiting aspect
it was very popular.
of the college football
great.
games were absolutely incredible.
It's better than Madden.
It was better
just because of the depth of the game.
Yes, I agree. Anyway, you can hit us up. Pender's Pancake says, sounds like future EST Hangout guest Bob Stauffer will have to mentor Dusty in college sports.
Yeah, 2-hour conversation, him teaching you the...
You know what? That might be the way to finally sucker him in here. Hey, Staff, we got this hangout about the downfall of University of Alberta Golden Bear sports and Alabama's history. And he might be like, that might
into
be
the
enough.
playoff. Yeah.
That might be enough to actually have him grace us with his presence through the front door.
Well, you
here.
goad him in with... We're not thinking Alabama should have got this spot,
Yeah.
right? Like, they shouldn't be. Like,
Staff, I was just wondering, we're doing
Play
a
the
thing on the
game.
hangout how FSU was way more deserving than Alabama. If you want to pop by.
some are saying they got screwed. Care to defend?
That would be. You
wouldn't be able to
that'd
resist.
Be really good. Let me lay out the show for you. We haven't even laid out the show just yet for you. First hour is wide open. If you need if you got any conch requests, you can hit us up. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. Just after 7 o'clock this morning, we're gonna get in. We're gonna continue our Crack Pack Christmas. We'll get into that. We got those advent calendars from Wayne's Cool Bet Hotline of the day. Darren Dreger is joining us today, but he's joining us at 7:30 instead of 7 o'clock. He's on the West Coast, so we're gonna let him sleep in for an extra half hour. He's there for league meetings, so we'll get into that. Mike Tanier from the Messenger is going to pop by around 7:45 today. We'll dive into everything in the National Football League. We'll go there a little bit of a blitz package here coming up in the 6 o'clock hour as well.
Do we have to?
Kind of easy. I know. Like there was a 6-0 game in the National Football
The
League
NFL
yesterday.
is trash right now.
6-0. The quality of play in the National Football League
Like-
sucks this year. Look at the officiating at the end of the game last night.
another thing.
It was like 3 consecutive blown calls. Just horrendous. Anyway, kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's just after 8 o'clock. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. The Got Your Back Monday morning mandate. Ryan Rishaug will be by. And the wrap for William Huff will take us home. Hangout today. This is a huge hangout day for us. I don't even think there's a second guest. I don't know if there's a second guest.
Fitting that the conditions outside, have changed a bit.
Finally
We
get a sprinkling of the white stuff. And who's in today? Josh Clausen, former and current rapper. I still see him dropping bars.
Yes.
And maybe he comes in with a little hangout jingle today. Right? If we give him a beatbox, like I can't do it, but if somebody
Maddie
did,
will give him a beat.
Maddie will give him a beat.
Maddie can beat.
Clausen will drop some lyrics on us.
beat.
And John T. and Victoria will have some competition for being the songbird of the round table of AM Nasty Nights. So yeah, we're excited though. Josh Clausen is going to be on the hangout today from 9 to 11, and it should end up being a pretty good time. I can't wait. I haven't seen Clausen a couple months, so I can't wait to see him. I wish we had some beers for him, some 6 o'clock lagers. Our desk beers are actually just sitting over there.
We'll have a Mott's Clamato.
Yeah,
He's got 3
that's a
options
good point.
to choose from. So Josh, get
The original
Get
Mott's
thirsty.
Clamato is pretty good.
Yep.
They should have a bevy with Josh Clausen today. Come on, mind you, Josh probably has to go to work after. But I mean, we have to go to work here, and we still have drinks. So yeah. Hey guys, can I get a conch for Mrs. Penny Packer and myself, because we celebrated our 1-year wedding anniversary this
Hey.
weekend? Oh wow, isn't that special? That's nice. It's real nice. See, Connor McDavid got on the Canadian Walk of Fame.
It's a big honor.
It's about. I don't have a hot take on it or anything.
No,
it's just like
it's an
it's
honor.
pretty.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
I seen some people were mad that Crosby, because Crosby, I don't think he's on it. And some
Crosby's
people,
not on it.
No, yeah, and some people were like, "How did McDavid get on there before Crosby?" So
I mean,
that was
valid
the
question.
fuss.
How many hockey players are on the Canadian
That's a good
Walk
question.
of Fame? Like, I don't even. Let's see here. Is there a list somewhere for the Canadian Walk of Fame? Let's see. Canadian Walk of Fame. It is weird that Sidney Crosby wouldn't have got this honor at some point.
I like the bow tie though, eh? Good look.
Let's see here. Hockey.
Tucked up.
1972 Canada Summit Series team. That would make sense. Jean Beliveau, Scotty Bowman, Johnny Bauer, Lionel Conacher, Wayne Gretzky himself.
Hey, there you go.
2002. So he was retired when he went on the Canadian Walk of
A
Fame.
little late, eh?
Connor McDavid's already on there. Gordie Howe, Mario Lemieux, and Connor McDavid. Huh. Yeah, that is kind of weird. That golden goal himself. Maybe Sidney Crosby's like, I'll do it after my career. Like maybe they've invited him, maybe they've asked him, and he like couldn't do it during the season or
He's
something.
waiting for the Maritime Walk of Fame. You get that, then you go to the committee.
Bobby Orr, Maurice Rashad. Yeah, they're all on here. Daryl Sittler and Haley Wickenheiser. But no Sidney Crosby. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he likes the attention because he also doesn't have any social media. EA's asked him to be the cover athlete, and he doesn't want anything to do with it.
It's only Hortons.
It's kind of a homebody. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
like he's just like, nah, like he's content with. So yeah, I think it's his own
I could see when he's
decision.
retired. Why would you say no?
Only Tim
Yeah.
Hortons.
Like,
It's,
why
it's,
would you
it's,
say
it's
this?
his Tim Hortons contract. He can only do things with Tim Hortons.
You think
Yes.
Tim
yeah,
Hortons
there's
only
Timmy's,
thing?
yeah.
Timmy's has exclusive ownership
all over
of
it.
everything he does.
He's all over it all the time. We ask, why isn't Connor? This is his realm. He owns the donut coffee realm. Nothing else. Can't do anything else.
But even
Hard
McKinnon's
deal.
weaseled his way in there a little
I
bit.
know, yeah.
Right? So that's that's tough. Huh. We got a sports update coming up, and we have a new partner on board. This is always exciting, right? We always like to do this with our new partners.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Cause I love you. I love you, John. Oh, I love you, John.
We're welcoming Davin in. He's with Green Plan. And this is the same guy that you were shotgunning beers with
Yes, two.
at the 6 o'clocker launch party last Wednesday.
2 6 o'clock. We did
Two
two.
tall
and
boys.
It was 12 o'clock longer
Yeah.
by the time we were done with him. It was a good time, and I want to thank him for not only shotgunning the beers with me, but calling me on my challenge. That was really impressive. I like that. It's a good time to meet somebody over a couple
say that.
shotguns.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, here we go. This is
Good
what
for
we're
you.
going to do. So, yeah, Green Plan is on board. They're going to sponsor these sports updates here. Environmental planning and consulting services. So if you are doing projects in the wilderness or roads, railway, subdivisions, municipal operations, residential, commercial, they come and look after things for you, help you plan it from an environmental perspective. So
They are award-winning as well.
yeah, they are award winning. That's one of the key things.
That's what you want.
That's one of the key things. Why would you go to somebody who's not award winning when you can go to somebody who is award winning? Right? It really just makes sense. In fact, to be honest with you, for me, I try to sneak that in. Even though who's gonna fact check you for your award winning? Like just put in there award winning. They're gonna be searching everywhere. Just say it. I mean, I'm sure Green Plan did win an award, obviously. But I could see us being like Edmonton Sports Talk, the award-winning local sports company. That would be good. So anyway, huge shout out to Davin and Green Plan for hopping on board. Visit them at green-plan.com, and they've got a sports update right now with Lieutenant Eric.
Jordan Love tossing 3 touchdowns, including a pair to Christian Watson. Green Bay Packers win their third straight 27-19 over the Chiefs. Packers now 6-6, the loss dropping KC to 8-4. You can join me tonight at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. It's the Jaguars hosting the Bengals. $11.99 loaded burger on special, as well as a free square board with prizes on the line throughout the night. The Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. Quentin Byfield with a pair of goals. Kings beat the Avalanche 4-1. Boston 3-1 over Columbus. Artemi Panarin with a hat trick. Rangers get past the Sharks 6-5. Wild over Chicago 4-1. And the Preds edge the Sabres 2-1. 6 games around the NHL tonight. The Oilers are back home to host Carolina on Wednesday. Oil Kings dropping a 5-1 decision to the Warriors yesterday afternoon from Rodgers Place. The club are off until Friday when they visit Medicine Hat. Quarterfinals of the NBA in-season tournament begin tonight. Celtics visit the Pacers, while the Kings host the Pelicans. Action will resume tomorrow with the Bucks at home to the Knicks, while the Lakers host the Suns. Sports update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
6:33 with the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on the TuneIn app or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. We like to keep you entertained every day from 6 in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to get to a little NFL Blitz package. We are good, bad, and ugly from the weekend coming up here today as well. I do like Loomis, though, in the nasty chat today. I hate how good Los Angeles has been and continues to be. This has to be a bit of a concern. Like, I know the Oil got a lot of things that they need to take care of themselves. For example, they're still behind Anaheim. Now they have a couple games in hand on the Ducks, but they're rolling a 432 right now, are the Edmonton Oilers. The Los Angeles Kings, I think the Kings are the best team in the Western Conference.
Perfect on the road. Perfect on the road.
Yeah, 9-0 on the road.
Dazzling.
5-4-3 at home. Interesting. They are 14-4-3 on the year. They have a .738 winning percentage, which is the best number in the Western Conference. They are 2 points back of the Canucks and 5 points back of the Golden Knights, but they've got 4 games in hand on each of them. The Los Angeles Kings are going to be a problem for everyone.
But you're right. Not needed a problem for Edmonton right now. Go away.
No, but what could
climb
how
the
this
charts,
could end
know
up
what I'm
being a
saying?
problem, though, is that the Kings finished first in the division. The Oilers in a wild card.
Yeah.
And you got to play them again
Yeah, don't worry.
in the first round.
Wild card 2. Wild card 1, 2, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see how that
2
starts
chances
out. Like
there,
the Golden Knights have a 720. They've won 2 in a row. The Kings are at 738. Dallas is at 705. The Avs are at 667. And the Canucks are at 660. Those are your top 5 teams winning percentage so far in the West. But the Los Angeles Kings, you don't want to. You just don't want anything to do with the Los Angeles Kings. And the Kings are a team that traded away a pretty good chunk of their depth, I thought, to get Dubois. Byfield is finally boom, clicked, and that's a big, big man to go along with other big, big men that they have there in Los Angeles. So, yeah, the Los Angeles Kings, I have a feeling, are going to be cursed a lot here around Edmonton Sports Talk in the spring, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, there's a lot of
Long
different things that
season,
pop
right?
up.
Isn't that what they say? Yeah,
I mean, at some point they're going to lose on the road, even if it has not happened just yet. But they seem to me kind of like the scariest team in the West right now. As for the National Football League, oh boy, let's get into yesterday's action. We'll get to some confessions tomorrow from a fantasy perspective. I made one decision this week that may cost me the week, possibly a long-term playoff spot here. I'm not happy.
You look disgusted.
I was. We're putting up the Christmas tree yesterday, and I'm heaving behind it. And Tammy's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I can't believe I left this guy on the bench." Full-blown Family Guy in this thing while we're putting up the Christmas tree yesterday. But anyway, let's whip you through yesterday in the NFL.
Hey, the Lions won, though. Hey,
Yeah, they did, even though our
that's-
entire lock shop group is just all over me. Oh, Lions. I didn't even reply to Jake or Pat or Huss or anybody. I was like, you know what? Let's just ride this thing out. Let's just ride this thing out and see where it goes because they're always on me. Detroit Lions are frauds.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions, you know what they did yesterday? On the road, not only did they win, but they covered. And great teams cover the spread. They won by 5. The spread was 4, 4.5, 3.5, depending on where you looked. But they won. They covered yesterday. They're 5-1 on the road. They are 9-3 overall. The final in that game, 33-28. Sam Laporta. I mean, Travis who? That's a Travis Kelce joke because Laporta had 9 catches for 140 yards and a touchdown in the Lions win. I guess there's a reason they moved on from TJ Hawkinson and brought in Laporta because he's absolutely unreal. The Colts. Oh, that's the Colts. Here's a stat that makes no sense. The Colts are 5-1 on the road. How does a very average team end up being 5-1 on the road?
They've won 4 in a row.
That makes no sense.
They are the hottest. You ready for this? Hottest team in the AFC.
And you know why?
Well,
Gardner Minshew.
It's that Minshew mania,
Minshew
baby.
mania, baby.
You're waiting for it to heat up.
31-28. They get by the Titans in that game. Pittman had 11 catches in that game. So Minshew knows who his guy is. The Chargers and the Patriots. Yeah. You know what's amazing is that I took the Chargers as one of my picks this week against the spread. And the spread, was 5.5. And they covered by winning 6-0. One of the greasiest covers of all time.
Hell of a game.
Let's just skip it. I mean, what are you supposed to do here? Do you see the attendance? Did you see some of the shots of the crowd?
Was it all AI?
In New England? It was like half empty. But I know. Does anybody point out in the National Football League that like, well, this was the announced attendance, but how many people were actually in the seats?
No.
Oh, my God. 6-0. Absolutely pathetic football game between the Chargers and Patriots. But if you missed that one, maybe you caught the Falcons and Jets yesterday.
Hey.
13-8.
Safety alert. Right?
The Jets
It was 7-5 at one point.
Oh, yeah.
7-5.
Yeah, another high-quality game south of the border. The Jets had 2 field goals and a safety. Lost to the Falcons.
Josh Clausen will discuss for an hour at least in the hangout today, right? I'm sure.
I think Atlanta does hold down a playoff spot right now at 6-6.
Oh, what, leading the division, right?
Yeah,
These
they're
are your division leading
leader
Atlanta
at
Falcons.
6-6. It would never happen in a real league. That's
They
ridiculous.
should combine the divisions, right?
That's what they should do. NFL should be one division.
Think of the Cowboys. Think of the
eliminate
Cowboys.
these.
Yes.
To eliminate jokes like this. One division. The Arizona Cardinals, with their first win on the road, they beat the Steelers 24-10.
That's a bad beat for Steelers. But they're still in the wild card. It doesn't matter.
If you're the Steelers, how are you supposed to beat Kyler Murray when he throws for 145 yards? That was not a good game either.
Doesn't matter. Pittsburgh's still in the mix firmly. That's.
I know. Tua, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, a freak. Just 5 catches, but it was 2 touchdowns at 157 yards. Ridiculous. Commanders sucked the big one.
Yeah.
Dolphins win by 30. Texans, Broncos, we were expecting a pretty close game here. It ended up being a relatively close game. It was not a good start for Denver. Houston was up 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. C.J. Stroud, 274 yards and a touchdown in this game. Huge game from a man, Nico Collins, who I have in 3 fantasy leagues. 9 catches, 191 yards, and a touchdown. Mike Evans had a huge game as well. 162 yards, 7 catches. The Bucs got by the Panthers 21-18. The Panthers are now 1-11. What type of league has a 1-11 team? My God.
Chuba, 2
this
touchdowns.
would never happen in real league.
2 touchdowns for Chuba.
Oh, I know Chuba's got 2 touchdowns because I'm going up against a guy in one of our leagues who's got 3 wins. And he had Chuba Hubbard, he had Baker and Mike Evans. And I need 44 combined points tonight from Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, which is not impossible. It's not impossible, but there's only like a 19% shot that it happens.
Well, when you invest in him, though, you're going to get paid back, right? You're going to get it.
The Rams got by the Browns in what was the game that you gave away at the Century Casino.
The Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Bowl, I guess, is what it was.
And you'll
It was
be
the
there
Browns
tonight.
Browns and Rams from LA. I'll be there tonight, of course, for the Bengals and Jaguars. Rip City Step. Hope to see you out. Big game tonight as well. So, come on down. $11.99 loaded burger. But, yes, this was the game we gave away the trip for, which Trevor Savage would have been in attendance in had he won, seeing his Rams win with a big win over the Browns.
Well, it was. I mean, this was one of the better games of the day, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, the Rams ended up scoring 16 in the fourth quarter. They get by the Browns 36-19.
Can you say wild card, Rams fans here? Hey,
6-6.
Hey, oh.
I'll get you into the playoffs. 49ers, Eagles, the big game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The Niners put up 14 in the second. They put up 14 in the third. And they put up 14 in the fourth to walk all over the Eagles, 42-19. Jalen Hurts banged up in this game. The Eagles say he's going to be fine, so that's good news. Philly goes to 10-2. They play the Cowboys next Sunday night. The Cowboys are at 9-3. Sets the stage for a big game there. Deebo Samuel had a huge game. Brock Purdy, 4 touchdown passes, 314 yards. And I saw the MVP conversation.
He's back.
Popping up again with Brock Purdy last night. But that game didn't really live up to the hype. The Niners just absolutely torched them. And then the Sunday nighter, the Green Bay Packers beating the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs fall to 8-4. The Packers at 6-6, putting themselves into at least a conversation for a possible playoff spot. Patrick Mahomes throwing an interception in the fourth quarter of this game, and then officiating would take it the rest of the way. How can this be a real league with officiating like that?
World's greatest.
unbelievable officiating. First of all, a heavy hit on Patrick Mahomes that happened inbounds. The officials come together to discuss it. They still rule it a flag. Every time I watch the Chiefs in primetime, they're getting some sort of call going their way. Then, brilliant move by Kansas City. They chuck a deep ball down the field to Valdez-Scantling, knowing that he would never catch this football.
It's a line in the water.
Yeah, there's zero chance MVS catches a deep ball. None. I mean, pretty much every Kansas City receiver's had a horrible season. So you know what they're trying to do in this situation. They're 100% going fishing for a flag. Heave it up, draw some contact, and they did draw some contact, and they probably should have got the flag, but the officials blew it again. Then you get a clock that should not have been stopped because forward progress had been stopped. The guy was basically pulled out of bounds. They stopped the clock for the Chiefs with 19 seconds left, and then they go with this Hail Mary. And then, they really didn't do anything. Like, Mahomes threw 2 balls away, like, just under pressure or didn't have anything. It was very weird. And then at the end, a little bit of a Hail Mary down, and Chris Collingsworth was in tears begging for a PI on a small little push to the back to Travis Kelce that happens every single time you see any Hail Mary thrown towards the end zone. And they kept replaying it. He's just like, well, and 2 hands in the back. Come on, man. They aren't going to throw a flag 6 minutes after the football game. You can stop bitching about the non-call.
However,
Goodness.
if they were to do it, that would be the time it would be done, right?
Oh, if they were ever going to do it.
I hear what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah.
This could be the time it happens.
Taylor Swift is already hand in hand with Kelce walking out, and there's a flag on the play. So officiating it went to, like, the first one, the hard hit on Mahomes should not have been a flag. The second one, 100% should have been a flag. And on the third one, I don't think the clock should have been stopped. But on the Hail Mary, there was nothing there that you don't see on every single Hail Mary ever. And, boy, Collingsworth's love of Patrick Mahomes is the best Twitter game ever. It's just you go watch, just to go Google Collingsworth after a Sunday nighter. And I like him as an analyst, but his love of Mahomes is just so over the top that you go on Twitter and it's just some of the most hilarious gifs you've ever seen in your life.
Well, it's like your first Hail Mary, right? Like, I remember my first Hail Mary. Like, it's almost like he doesn't know the whole. But yes, the Chiefs' love is nauseating at best, I'd say.
There's a lot of it.
It's enjoyable to a degree.
There is a lot of it. This text in says the refs were absolutely awful. Guys, I'm absolutely loving all the NFL bashing. The CFL is the absolute GOAT league. That's in from Red.
Well, I don't think it's.
No,
We're not saying that either. No. It's just like you can't heap on one and pile on one and say, I'm never watching this crap again. This is garbage. This team had a losing season, canceling season tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Please. Exhibit A, B, C, D, and E.
Everybody's always like, it doesn't happen down there. What are you talking about? There's a 6-0 game. Officiating ruined the end of the primetime game. There was a 13-8 game. The game that was supposed to be the game of the week ended up being a 23-point blowout. Like, it's just...
Look, we were bitching about youth sport rankings as well.
Yeah.
Look at the rankings. Look at...
In college football?
Well, right.
Yeah, the college football rankings.
They can do it too. It's
undefeated, 13-0. Now they were never going to get in. It's. You think college football in their final year of 4 playoff teams is not going to put the SEC champion into this thing? Of course they are.
Who are they? The Huskies? Right? Anyway, yeah, officiating is garbage anywhere in sports, right? I think we can let's all come to that agreement. Let's all shake on it, and then we can just all go about our business. Officiating is trash. Sports is too advanced these days. Athletes are too good. Everything moves too fast. There's no investment. Nobody wants to be an official.
Yeah, nobody wants to be an
It's crap. It's a terrible job. Who wants it?
Nobody grows up being like, I'm going to be an official.
Well, you know what I mean? You don't have posters of officials on your wall. Like, that's the career for me.
No, but some of them do their job extremely well.
Some of them do, but I think if there's more of like
others that fall, like what we did confirm last night is that crew probably won't be doing the Super Bowl. So especially if they're not going to give Mahomes those late flags, the PI,
maybe,
MVS.
But in a couple weeks, maybe a couple other crews,
yeah,
push them back into contention. It's all crap. Officiating's crap. No offense, Surveyor Brett. I know they're trying. Like, I know people as an industry, it's fallen behind.
Yeah, that's a good
what I'm
way to
saying.
look at it. As an industry, officiating has fallen behind.
I feel bad for anybody donning the stripes, but it's.
I'll also say this in defense of officials. I think they should probably be paid more. Because
Yes.
if they were paid more, then more people would
More
probably
people,
take the job
the incentive,
seriously,
exactly.
and you develop better officials.
Exactly.
Here I am making a plea for officials to get paid more when I think most of them are garbage.
You need good ones to make
Doesn't
good
make any
sports.
sense. Hey, Dusty, LT, I've been crushing the new Whale and the Wolf album all weekend, and you have to play at some point on the show today the track called Somebody Else. It's an absolute banger. Happy Monday, boys. Here's to another week of EST listening. Now, I only have access to what Maddie has put into the
Give me
system.
the album. You didn't give me the full.
I don't know if he gave me the full album. I'll have to look into
tracks.
it. I'll have to look into
The thing
it.
about the album is it's not the runtime is it's under an hour. It's a quick listen. So
Nobody wants to do anything for more than an hour nowadays.
It's not these days.
Dolphin Nation in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Hey, Eric, Liverpool, what a finish.
Oh,
What happened?
soccer. Nobody cares about that.
Was it questionable officiating?
No, not at all. It was just a back and forth game. 4-3 your final. Liverpool securing the 3 points, taking the bag with I think it was just before stoppage time. Hell of a match. Some great theater in the Premier League this weekend as well. If you'd I'll be coming with the podcast later on today, maybe the Premier League podcast.
Yeah.
Myself and Maddie. But yeah, Tottenham drawing City on the road, splitting the points there. Villa Bournemouth as well, splitting points. Newcastle with a big win over United. Ooh,
My God.
that's gonna hurt Maddie. Chelsea beating Brighton. I mean, it was a pretty entertaining. Premier League brought it this weekend, I'll say that. In terms of drama and theater and excitement. Sheffield United moving on from Heckenbotham. How do you feel about that, eh?
Oh, man, I couldn't believe
Terrible
Heckenbotham
start to the
didn't get it
season.
done.
He's rescued them before, but now they get a good start.
Oh, that's a guy.
Bring back Wilder now to kind of.
I thought it was another team. What did you say the name was? Heckenbotham?
I don't need to explain. The
I
best
thought
part
it
is
was
me
one of
going on
those,
these
like,
rants with you
Div-
not knowing.
I thought it was one of those Div 2 teams. Like,
ignorance
oh,
is
man,
bliss.
I can't believe they moved
Ignorance
on.
is bliss, yeah.
Did
It's on the
anybody
show,
else think he was
Wrexham,
talking
yeah.
about a team? I thought he was talking about a
Wrexham
team.
played this weekend too, FA Cup qualifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're from the show.
Surveyor Brett is in. Figured this would come with the referee thing. Hey, I still have referee posters on my walls. Thanks for the Rays recommendation, though, Dusty. I'll take that straight to the CCRHL. Now, that's the last thing I need is the CCRHL getting frustrated because I'm like, pay these officials more when I spent pretty much my entire rec league career abusing officials. And now here I am. Well, they should be paid more with
Well, without them, there's no
a-holes like me
Yeah,
on the ice.
You
Like,
need it,
Yeah.
right? Like
no, I would agree with that. I think that does make sense as well. Lacombe Drew says, don't forget Wrexham going streaking in the FA Cup.
yeah, there you go. Who'd they beat? Yeovil Town?
Now, is this a manager or a team?
Yeovil Town?
Mm-hmm.
That's a team.
Well, you never know nowadays.
Hello, I'm Mr. Town. First name Yeovil.
Yeovil.
Wow. Where are you?
I mean, we could see it. That sounds like an Australian name or
Yeah,
something.
Wrexham 3-0. I fell asleep at 1-0, but 3-0 for Wrexham. Wow, look at that.
Big win.
Who do they draw now? That'll be interesting. I know Liverpool get Arsenal in the Wrexham. Whoa, it's a big list
Who do
here.
they draw next?
Where is it here?
In the FA Cup.
In the FA Cup, Shrewsbury Town. From Yeovil Town to Shrewsbury Town. Man, they're
Come on,
you want to talk about
Shrewsbury
greasing things.
Town can't be a real place.
Wrexham are getting these opponents now because it's for the TV. I see this now. They're gonna get these easy draws leading up. Right?
Wait, you're underselling Shrewsbury Town.
Maybe.
Maybe. Why would you throw shade
Come on, the
at
Shrews.
Shrewsbury Town?
Come on, the Shrews.
Hey, you guys are so right. The refs at my nephew's U11 game this weekend were absolutely awful. Smiley face. Wow. I mean, they're kids. Well, at least for our U9 games, they're kids. All right, let's get into our good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Lots to discuss here. We've already hit on some of it today. Of course, you can message us anytime in the nasty chat. Of course, you can text us 780-218-9999. Darren Dreger's going to pop by around 7:30 this morning. Ryan Rishaug around, 8:20, 8:25 from the Got Your Back podcast. I think they had one going last night with him and Struddy and Rob Brown. Lieutenant Eric, what was your good from the weekend, man?
The Buffalo Bills on a bye.
So they didn't have to be part of what we witnessed yesterday in the National Football League?
Because I know if they were, and the path they've been charting for themselves, it would be another frustrating Sunday afternoon or mid-afternoon or evening or whatever it would be. So, not having to watch the Bills or pay attention to the Bills, treading water through this season of seasons. That was my good, I guess. As I said, good weekend overall, sports aside. Had a really nice beginning of December kickoff weekend with my wife. Had some good food. It was a good weekend.
It sounded like a really nice
Aside from
weekend.
sitting on Santa's knee. I hit them all. Touched them all, Joe.
We're going to visit Santa tonight.
So
that should be nice.
You get your RSVP, hey?
Yeah. Santa is ready for the visit. Okay, so here's my good. These are the numbers on the 6 o'clocker lager. This is the beer that you could not find anywhere in the city. But they should be, more flats are coming in, and then at some point we're going to get through all of those. And then Alley Cat is already working on brewing a second batch. If I know I've had a couple people reach out, they want to get it like kegged so they can put it on tap.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a bar owner at any point, a club, whatever, and you'd like to get the 6 o'clocker lager on tap, let us know because we'll have Alley Cat keg some of the second batch here. But in the first 3 days, so this would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in the first 3 days, and by far a beer of the week record, and the fact that it became so difficult to find, this is why Sobeys is actually going to extend the special pricing of $13.99 on it for another week. So those of you who haven't been able to track it down will still be able to get it for another week at that same price. We sold just shy of 1,100 4-packs, which is just insane.
Say units. It sounds
Yeah,
so much.
units. Yeah, we moved almost 1,100 units.
Moving units.
But that sounds like just one can. That's
Okay,
why I
yeah,
like to
you're
say
right.
4-pack.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we sold like 4,400 beers in 3 days because you're all insane, and the beer is absolutely delicious. I mean, if it wasn't good, people would already be going back trying to get more, unless people are already trying to go back to get more. So
Yeah, you'd have your initial and leave it
Yeah.
at that. But
So that's my good. In the first 3 days, we sold 1,092 units of the 6 o'clocker lager, which is just, I mean, I think like we're surprised by it. Sobeys is surprised by it. I think Alley Cat's shocked by it.
yeah.
And yeah, all it means is good things moving forward. I
The
guess.
Timber Woodsman, if you have the contrary, he conched the Sobe liquor guy that hit me up on Twitter and set aside some 6 o'clock lager for me in the St. Albert location.
That's pretty special having it set beside for you and walk in and other people are waiting and they're like, oh, we got to put you guys on the wait list. And you roll in and there's just like 2 4-packs, 2 units sitting right next to side for you.
Scott Laurie has been doing the work. He has been putting
I don't
in
know
the
how he
hours.
made it out to the lake this week. I don't know how. That dude was driving around the city like,
the province.
constantly.
Yeah.
It was nuts. But yeah, thank you very much. Almost 1,100 4-packs sold. That's not even including Sunday. That's just the first 3 days.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm sure we probably sold a couple hundred more on Sunday. And yeah, this is all-time legendary run. That's because of you. So thank you very much. The bad. What are you going with for your bad?
My bad?
Yeah.
No Guy Flaming.
Yeah, what is going on? Is everything okay
Unless
with
I'm
Guy? Like-
missing something.
Yeah.
I
And this is nothing against Pearsy.
No.
Pearsy had a
No, no,
pretty
no,
epic
no,
call
no,
himself. We're talking about the teddy bear toss goal. The bringer of bears, straight out, like that's a Tales of the North reference if I could ever steal it. That's great. But yeah, the teddy bear toss goal thing has always been a Guy Flaming special. I was waiting for Flaming to hop in there and it never happened.
know when we had the games on 12-6 in the past, I mean, it was almost like it was appointment tuning for the station. He'd come on, do the game during the weekend. We'd come back the Monday.
Well, we would help him. We would
take,
sometimes
we'd
do
take
suggestions from
It
listeners.
would be a
Yeah.
week-long thing. We'd chew it up on the Monday. We'd dissect it. We'd have segments dedicated to the call. And now time is come and gone. The broadcasts are on the team's website and everything. And Pearsy, again, doing a hell of a job. But I go to listen to it, and I'm like, where's Guy? So I hope everything is okay. But no Guy Flaming on the table. It just leaves you wanting a little bit more. But again, no offense to Pearsy and everything. And Andrew does a good job covering the team. You don't know what you have till it's gone type of thing. And
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
it's just weird.
Let's text Guy, get an update here.
Yeah.
My bad will be a 13-0 team not making it into the college football playoff. I don't know. I don't know enough about, like, my bad is it for them, it sucks. You know what I mean? For Florida State, do you think Florida State was watching that show, Eric, actually thinking they were going to get in? Or like deep down inside,
well, I'm sure they
think they were, even though they were undefeated.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was Herb Street on that show. Right at the beginning of the show, he's like, you know, they take injuries into account here. And as soon as he pointed that out, I was like, oh, well, FSU's not getting in.
Well, they do, and I think they knew, too, beating Louisville as they did, the style in which they did. So I'm sure that there was like a creeping sense in the back of their minds of what was going to happen. They're not coming in there that day and being like, oh, yeah, we're undefeated. ACC, undefeated. That's a clear path to the playoffs. So the best was watching Michigan's reaction, though, to Alabama getting it and then them having to play Alabama. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the tell there, but they would have preferred the undefeated team. It's my ugly, if you want to get to that. I mean, that is my ugly.
That is your ugly, okay.
Team. You can't call it a Power 5 conference and not have that Power 5 winner.
Yeah, but even within the Power 5, like SEC is up here.
Yeah.
And ACC
I know.
is down here. Like,
but
that's
then
not,
just
we're
kick
not
it out of the
surprising
power.
everybody.
No,
right?
but undefeated. You've done it. What else? Aside from putting up more points and not getting injured, I guess.
There's nothing else you could have done in outside of keeping your starting quarterback. Because people said, you know, if the starting quarterback was healthy,
yes,
they might have.
And
got
they're doing
spot.
this for eyes, for ratings, for money, right? So if you're gonna have it, you don't want to see somebody get stomped in these playoffs, which has happened time. So I get, I understand it. Maybe it doesn't make it right. Maybe
so. Let's say injured FSU gets in. Michigan beats them 35-6.
Just annihilates them. And it was like, oh, this sucks. Like, what a stupid. So I there is understanding to it, but it just looks bad. But it's got everybody talking about it. That's the beauty of the culture. Same with the U Sport. Iwanek was coming in here every Monday, irate at the rankings.
Yeah, he was.
But we were talking about it every single day. It was great. It's brilliant stuff.
All right, let's get to our ugly. What's your ugly from the weekend?
That was it.
Oh, that was your ugly, yeah.
It was bad and it was ugly.
Yeah. My ugly, I mean, the Chargers-Patriots 6-0. I mean, we've had higher scoring hockey games pretty much on a regular basis. Like that, a 6-point National Football League game.
And a shutout.
That is
just a shutout as well.
It's a 6-0.
We've seen a few shutouts this season already.
6-0. It doesn't get any uglier than a 6-0. Mind you, I'll throw that up there. The love shove, as it was called last night, as opposed to the tush push or the brotherly
love
shove.
shove.
Yeah, they dubbed it the love shove last night, which sounds just as greasy as the tush push. Really, I mean, they got to come up with a better name for this thing because. I don't know. When last night, they're like, and Collinsworth was like, oh, the love shove.
You love Collinsworth.
Man, no, he was just not. Collinsworth is great when the Chiefs aren't playing, in my opinion. Whenever the Chiefs are playing,
they're always playing prime.
It's just an absolute love fest.
That Falcons-Jets 7-5, though, at 1.2 really had me spun. I know this.
You got to love a 7-5.
Ooh, that was
7-5 is pretty unique, too.
What is going on here?
That's pretty good as well. All right, let's get to a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric. We've got Darren Dreger and Mike Tanier coming up in hour number 2 today. For those of you who are in the nasty chat who are asking if the 6 o'clocker lager is just a local Edmonton-based beer, it's across the province, or at least was launched across the province. I'm not too sure how much is left. I know there's some stores in Calgary that were sold out and things like that. But you should be able to get it eventually again in all Sobeys and Safeway liquor stores across the province. So it's not just in Edmonton. Mind you, 75% of those almost 1,100 units were moved in Edmonton, which makes sense. I mean, they had more stock and people gobbled it up like crazy.
I would like to see like the next closest. Like they're just going mad over it in Olds or something. Hey, like it's just like it's obsessive down there. Like I want the metrics, the analytics.
Let's get to a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric to kick off hour number 2.
NFL action saw Jordan Love toss 3 touchdowns, including a pair to Christian Watson. The Packers win their 3rd straight 27-19 over the Chiefs. Green Bay now improving to 6-6. The loss dropping KC to 8-4. Join me tonight at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge when the Jaguars host the Bengals. $11.99 loaded burger on special, as well as a free scoreboard with prizes on the line. NHL action from yesterday. Quentin Byfield with a pair of goals. Kings defeat the Avalanche 4-1. Boston 3-1 over Columbus, and Artemi Panarin with the hat trick, leading the Rangers over the Sharks 6-5. 6 games around the NHL tonight. The Oilers are back home to host Carolina on Wednesday. Oil Kings, they fall 5-1 to the Warriors yesterday afternoon from Rodgers Place. The club are off until Friday when they visit Medicine Hat. Quarterfinals of the NBA in-season tournament begin tonight with a pair of games. Celtics visit the Pacers, the Kings will host the Pelicans. Action resumes tomorrow with the Bucks hosting the Knicks, and the Lakers at home to the Suns. Sports update brought to you by Universal Rewind. LTIR for your electric motors doesn't exist. Contact Universal Rewind to have them properly maintain your motors. Choose experience, expertise, and quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.03 with the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here. Dustin Nielson and Lieutenant Eric with you. We are coming at you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio. If you've not yet tried the Popeyes wings, these are not going anywhere. 5 flavors of wings now available. Signature hot, the honey garlic, the honey barbecue, the garlic parm, and the ghost pepper. $9.99 for 6 wings. DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, and Uber Eats. And 6 wings will fill you up. I know a lot of you say, won't fill me up. I can eat 2 dozen wings.
No, they got a lot of meat on the bone.
And maybe you can, but these are big wings, and they're breaded, and they're absolutely spot on. They're terrific. I don't know why I said spot on.
You watched the little FA Cup over the weekend, did you?
That's very much a
Didn't
soccer
ya?
term, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
tail
Popeyes,
is up.
Popeyes, what's that mean?
Your tail is up. Oh, you're excited. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Like an animal, yeah.
Oh. Ooh. Yes, my tail gets up over the 5 flavors of wings now available at Popeyes. Signature hot, honey garlic, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and the ghost pepper.
That's your
There it
tail.
is. That's my tail going up. My tail goes from 6 to midnight when I think about the Popeyes wings. DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, and Uber Eats is where you can find them. Edmonton Oilers were back in practice yesterday. We'll get into that a little bit here as well. We're going to get into our crack pack calendars. That's going to happen. But, I mean, we got to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays here. Not only are they apparently in on Ohtani, then I see over the weekend that they're the front runners for Juan Soto because obviously nobody's a front runner until trade talks have broken down with the Yankees, which apparently is what happened here. Anytime trade talks break down, it's like every single player in the league, every team goes to the Yankees and go, do you want them? Because you can have them first. And if the Yankees can't get a deal done, then the rest of the league gets to dabble in them too.
Yeah.
And
But now we have to get used to Toronto a player. Toronto's a player. Look over here. Look over here. Off season. Toronto's a player.
I still don't know if I should buy into this. Like the Ohtani thing was, I was just like, oh, well, you know, they're probably not going to get him, so I'm going to be disappointed. And then if they do get him, they'll probably waste him, so I'll be disappointed. Now it's looking like he might get $600 million, which is just insane. Is there any way the Blue Jays deliver Ohtani and Juan Soto? Like,
I'm sure there's a way.
there's no way. I mean, that would be the greatest. Like, and if they do that, they got to full Brian Burke this thing with the Sedins. Like, announce this thing the same bloody day. Like, roll in Ohtani, roll in Juan Soto. The major networks in Toronto will stop talking about how the Leafs almost got Zadorov and will actually start talking about the Toronto Blue Jays.
How they almost
if
got
they can bring
Shohei
those two
Ohtani.
guys.
Yeah. Well, Scotty Mitchell, TSN, big game hunting. He's using the term big game hunting, dreaming of bagging a unicorn.
What?
Dreaming of bagging a unicorn.
Well, why not 2 unicorns?
Tag him and bag him. Why two
Well, Soto's
unicorns?
unreal, too.
A herd of
He's
unicorns.
like 25. He was a stud.
No, this is look, it's December 4. Pay attention. Pay attention. Don't forget about the Blue Jays. They're over here.
This can't just be.
Dame Lillard too. I think they might be.
Well, I remember the Dame Lillard thing. I get it, but this seems too good to be true, right? Somebody pinch me and wake me up because I don't want you to pinch me physically. I was worried right when I said that.
Right behind the arm there.
I was going to run away.
Sweet zone, yeah.
But these can't be a real thing. Like, these have to be fabricated rumors, and nobody is going to back these up.
Rumor could be real, right? Like it's out there. Like, are you suggesting you're reading all this off of some fake X site? This is real stuff, but it's not. Like, it won't, it's real now.
Guys, if the Blue Jays get them, my Rodgers internet bill will be $500 a month.
How bad do you want to win? That's what I ask you.
Guys, they want Manoah for Soto. Oh, darn.
Straight up, yeah.
I mean, Manoah fell apart this year. And, I don't know what happened with that guy because he looked like the future of the franchise. And then this year, I mean, couldn't do anything. It was the most disappointing thing. But imagine if they had Manoah. Now, mind you, their pitching staff was fine anyway. It was actually their bats that let them down this year. But you still throw Manoah into that mix there? My goodness. Probably in a better spot come playoff time. It might lead to some better matchups for you. But, yeah, I don't know, man. That's wild. Absolutely insane.
A duo corn, as Rip City Step says, maybe with Soto.
A duo
corn.
Duo
instead
corn.
of the unicorn.
God, they're going duo corn hunting. I would, there's nothing that they could ask for that I wouldn't want to give up for Juan Soto. It's just, yes. Is this guy available? Yes. Is this guy available? Yes. It doesn't matter. Like, left-handed hitter, absolute stud. He's got like a OBS of like 421 or something in his bloody career. He's a freak. He's a champion. I mean, he's done it. Yes. Yes. Anything's available.
Yes to all. Sign up.
Like, the ultimate big-time move by the Jays would be like, we're signing Ohtani, trading for Soto, 89 wins.
Wow, you say it so uneventfully. It's just, that's...
That's a Richter scale move, man. Like, that's a big-time deal. That's a big-time deal.
Yeah, none of which will be happening, so. But, hey.
Fingers crossed.
We always had this week.
Fingers crossed. It's a nice time for this to pop up, that's for sure. GSM says, the Oilers likely make the playoffs, but still need to make a trade for a goalie. Can't get through today's show without talking about the Oilers trading for a goalie, can we? Here's, like, I said this on the Oil Stream. I kind of got into it pretty good on the Oil Stream on Friday. Not into it like Tommy and I being like, no, but we were just talking about the goalies a lot. And, I mean, as long as you tell me, this is what I need to hear. As long as you tell me that you're not expecting anything more than the 1B to Stuart Skinner, then we can have the conversation. But if anybody thinks they're bringing in somebody that's going to be significantly better than Stuart Skinner, you're nuts. Because that guy's not, and don't tell me, look at Elvis. Like, what if this guy's name was Steve Merzilkins? Would you even care about him?
Yeah.
Elvis Merzilkins is a guy that you could probably split the net with Stuart Skinner. This is not a guy who's going to come in here and lead you to a Stanley Cup championship. Basically, no goaltenders that would be available right now would do that. So Stuart Skinner is still your guy. You can try to upgrade the other spot, but don't do it with the expectation. Like, I don't want to see a trade where somebody goes, well, looks like Skinner's the backup now, because there's no goalie available that would make Stuart Skinner be the backup for this hockey team. None. Go ahead. Spit on names. James Reimer, Jake Allen, Merzilkins.
They could.
No, they couldn't. They're going to, no chance. Blackwood. Go look at the numbers for these guys.
Lightning in a bottle.
I'll sit here all day. Go look at the numbers for these guys and tell me they actually get you excited. Or are you just hearing that, that goalie might be available? And sometimes the Oilers have goaltending problems. We better go give something up for him. Not going to happen. So, yeah, I don't, you just have to, I'm just telling people, limit your expectations for what goalie is going to come in here and solidify things between the pipes. Like TubeSuck says, Harry Merzilkins doesn't have the same cachet. Right? Everybody goes, but Elvis, go get Elvis. Elvis's numbers aren't that good. I didn't want to get fired up about Oilers like.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did. I didn't want to get fired up about.
Hey, Shohei Ohtani, look over here. Look over here. Blue Jays are doing something. Shohei Ohtani, look.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, man. Thank you for that.
Bless the Blue Jays, hey, for keeping us dreaming a bit.
Megabird says, I would much prefer an upgrade on D before goaltending. Well, that's going to get people pissed off.
Here we go.
Megabird, nice knowing you. You're probably going to have to leave the chat here right now. Doofish P says, 21.9% Oilers playoff chances, as per Hockey Reference. The team needs another goalie. Skinner and I like that 21.9%. I think they're going to be in the playoffs. It's not because like I expect them to go on an all-time run. It's just the competition above them is not very good. And you can say, those other teams can say, the Oilers aren't very good either, and they haven't been for a lot this year.
They start well,
but they're starting to kind of get going here a little bit. They've won 7 of 10. They're starting to look like that team from the past. And even that team for 3/4 of the season, I think is good enough to get you into the wild card. I don't know what it means. I think there's still major deficiencies that will end up leading to a playoff exit at some point. But I think I like their chances of being in the playoffs better than 21.9%.
The Oilers right now are 6 points back of a wild card. The two teams holding wild card spots in the West, Arizona and St. Louis. You've got Nashville and the Flames, followed by the Kraken, the Wild, and the Ducks. I mean, come on.
You should be able to weasel your way into that group somehow.
I would hope so.
Like, it just has to happen. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Coyotes the only team with a positive goal differential as well throughout the whole wild card bunch.
You know what?
They're having a campaign, baby.
Here's what I think about with Skinner. Like, his last 4 games, he's been pretty good. Why do you think he's been pretty good? Has the team stopped hemorrhaging rush chances against? Have they been playing better defensively and not allowing a bunch of ridiculous backdoor tap-ins? Yes. Yes, they have. So it's not like just all of a sudden Stuart Skinner's standing on his head. Dare I say the team in front of him has absolutely been playing better defensively. Maybe a goaltender behind that team like Stuart Skinner's just fine. And maybe you go out, and if Campbell's not going to get called back up or it's never going to pan out, you go out, you upgrade Pickard, but don't tell me that you're fixing your goaltending by playing Stuart Skinner way less and playing James Reimer or Mackenzie Blackwood way more.
Well, you're not getting a Hellebuck. If you had a Hellebuck on this team, it'd be different, correct? You'd go for that. Go from good to great. But that's not in the options, right? So, again, a Reimer or somebody else, you fill into that spot. It's not making you great in that position, right? Reimer doesn't make you great.
No.
Elvis doesn't make you great.
No.
Jake Allen doesn't make you great.
They make you slightly different.
It's different good, yeah, but it's
and
still...
if you think slightly
not
different is your goaltending fix, then I guess that's a good one for you. This text is in, and it says, hey, are you guys not on YouTube today? It's not coming up as an option on the EST site. Trev, did you change the watch live link? I think it's going to a different show. If you go check out EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
I'll get on that. I'll get on that.
Yeah, just take a peek at it. I think that's probably what's happening there. I mean, we're still obviously on YouTube. Hey, guys, can we stop the Jake Allen discussion? The guy was so bad that St. Louis needed to bring in a no-name like Bennington to take his spot.
Oh, no, there's no discussion.
That's it from Pizza Guy Nick.
I'm just...
No, I mean, these are just the names that are out there. This is why I'm saying none of these guys are going to move the bloody needle.
No.
I would say... I'm trying to think where the upgrade on D comes. I would... Yeah, because you're still not getting a guy that's significantly better than Skinner anyway. So what you're doing is you're finding somebody to, take some of the pressure
I understand
off
the
him.
argument. You could have a greater goal, like a Hellebuck on this team would solve, but you're not. That's not.
You're
that's
not
not
getting
at
that.
all
That's
possible.
not coming
right now.
by a trade.
Your options are only to move around the
So,
good. Yeah.
What they have to do before the deadline is at least bring in another bottom 6 forward. They have to start moving the needle, I think, a bit there. You'd like to see nothing against Vincent. But come playoff time, I think you'd like to see maybe a veteran that can slide in there. And, if you can find an upgrade on Pickard as your 1B to Stuart Skinner's 1A, then that would be fine as well. But it will be tough to do all of that. Guys, they could get Soto and Ohtani, but Schneider is still going to pull the starter in the playoffs after allowing 1 hit, and then the reliever gets torched and they get bounced in the first round. Yeah, I know. It's tough right now. Morning, boys. Good to great is awesome. All we need is good, and good is 2 decent goalies. That's all.
Yeah, if you had good goaltending and then improve the defense, then you could maybe turn that into a lowercase great at times. But you're not getting the greatness in net right now.
Well, I mean, he's got a .935 save percentage in his last 7 of his last 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad.
No.
Smitty the Welder says they need a top 4 D-man. It would be interesting because if you were to now, I don't know how financially. I don't know how that works. But let's just pretend that doesn't matter for a second. If you were able to bring in a top 4 right shot, then you can either protect Bouchard a little bit and play him on the third pair. He's still crushing power play time, or you bump CC down. You play CC and Kulak together. Solidify that pairing a little bit,
presence here,
and then this other person plays with Darnell Nurse and even helps him significantly more. And Darnell's been great lately, but that could even take it to another level. But I just don't know how they do that. They used their blue line money last year on Matthias Ekholm, and it certainly has worked. But yeah, it's a conversation. We'll definitely get into this with Rishaug. We'll talk a little bit about a bunch of different things going on around Canada and the hockey world with Darren Dreger. Dregs is going to be by here in about 10 minutes time. Let's get into this, then we'll get to our Cool Bit Hotline of the day as well. These are the advent calendars. Somebody tweeted me on Saturday, said they sold out. So, yeah, that was good. Whatever ones they had left, hopefully we sold them on Friday. This is the advent calendar from Wayne Sports Cards. So what are we looking at here, Rick? 3 and 4 today, right?
Yep.
There's 3, and there's number 4. So you got all your little packs of cards inside the advent calendar box. So you get to open up the box and find the packs. And then you get to open up the little packs and find the packs inside. And it's absolutely amazing. They've got a bunch of different other Christmas boxes at Wayne Sports Cards as well. But we're just diving into these today. All right, so let's do this. Number 3. Here we go. 'Tis the season, right? Like, what do we got here?
Let's go. Come on.
2021 hockey. Collect young. Come on, give us a Young Guns here.
One of those Heritage Classic packs there.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Nice. Here we go. Let's see here.
21-22.
Give us the Young Guns.
Extended
Give us the
series.
Young Guns. Blake Wheeler, UD Canvas. And no Edmonton Oilers. Oh, my goodness.
Nate Schmidt. Cody Ceci.
Cody Ceci, need him.
Just talking
Perfect.
about you. Brock McGinn.
Ooh,
He drives a
McGinn.
truck.
He drives a truck.
Justus Anunin. Young Gun. Remember that name. Brad Richardson. Martin Jones. I see you, RCN. Warren Fogle.
Fogel, need him.
And Logan Stanley as well.
Man,
It's a tight
CC
little
and
pack.
Fogle in the same
yeah.
pack.
That's a workman pack.
Gotta
right
love
there.
it. That's a
Yeah.
grinding pack right there. I'm already in my second one. 2021 Series 1.
He's a Heritage. Connor McDavid, Leon Dress, Lorenzo Hopkins, Cam Talbot, and Jordan Eberle.
Connor McDavid. This was the card I didn't like of McDavid. He's just walking off the ice. Like, how do you not have the best player in the league with some of the seasons he's had on the ice for his hockey card? I'll
Casual
never understand
shots
that one
and the
from
full face can go to hell
Yeah.
in terms of cards, right? Like,
Anyway, McDavid. Throw that over there. And a young gun, Igor Korshkov. Toronto Maple Leafs. You Leafs fans out there, you can have that card for $250 cash.
Okay, what is this? 21-22 Series 2. Nikita Kucherov,
The Cooch.
Nicholas Abe-Kubel, Vladislav Gavrikov. Remember that name, eh?
Gavrikov.
Yeah, we had a
Man,
time
they
with
were
him,
hot
eh?
and horny for Gavrikov for a while.
Pod Colson, Young Gun.
Pod Colson, young gun. That's a nice one, actually.
Teravainen, Michael
Beautiful.
McLeod,
Beautiful.
Wayne Simmons, and Maxime Comtois.
All right. There we go. That'll be our best hit of the day right there. Pod Colson, young gun. These are the advent calendars you can get at Wayne Sports Cards. We're going to be cracking them every single day from now until Christmas, which should be a lot of fun. All right, let's get to your Cool Bet hotline of the day. And then we will go to a sports update for Park Mazda. We'll come back with Darren Dreger, Mike Tanier also. Those two guys both in the second half of this hour. Feel like we have to go to, well, where do we go tonight? We got NBA in-season tournament action.
Quarterfinals, baby.
2 games tonight.
Heating up.
Celtics, Pacers, Pelicans, Kings. Or, I do like the Kings tonight there on the money line at -169. Could go a Kings Celtics parlay, but no. Let's see here quickly. NHL tonight. Ooh, as we like to say, pretty decent slate. We'll dive into this on the lock shop today, but I do think we have to go to the Monday nighter in the NFL where this line has moved. I think it was at 9. I think it was at 8.5 at one point for the Jags. Now it's at 10.
Jags get their prime timer, hey? Duval County represent.
This is going to be a
big
big one.
yeah.
I need huge games from Calvin Ridley and Trevor Lawrence for fantasy purposes. Let's see here. Let's take a look at TD scores tonight. Interesting. Travis Etienne is -137. Christian Kirk +150. Calvin Ridley +150. Mixon's plus 163 to score a tutty tonight. I could hedge Evan Ingram at plus 240 because I'm going up against Evan Ingram in a league, and I need him to not have a good night. So that way, if I was to bet on him, he scored a touchdown, at least I'd be like, well, I made some cash off of it, even though I might lose in fantasy. Let's see the player passing here. Trevor Lawrence, 241.
Big night from the Jags, hey?
Well, here, I think this is my play right here. Just a sec. Let me bring up Trevor Lawrence's game log. He is the investment, right?
Yeah.
He, the Jags are, like, the Jags, I still feel like they're,
Eyes of the nation on them.
their defense is pretty legit. Their offense hasn't been going, like, Trevor Lawrence only has 12 touchdown passes this season. But I want to bring up his game log because I want to see what he's looking at completions, because I think there's a juicy number on the board here for Trevor Lawrence completions tonight. All right, let's see here. 23 of 38, 24 of 32, 17 of 29, 24 of 32, 20 of 29, 20 of 30, 25 of 37. 20. Yeah, I'm going to get on this tonight. I'm going to ride with my boy. Trevor Lawrence, over 20.5 pass completions tonight. He just has to complete 21 passes. We hit this with Geno Smith last Thursday. Came right down to the wire. But let's go Trevor Lawrence, over 20.5 pass completions at minus 110. And if you have any other player props that you like in this bad boy tonight, feel free to text them in 780-218-9999, or you can hit us up in the nasty chat as well. But, yeah, let's go with this one. Trevor Lawrence, over 20.5 pass completions at minus 110 tonight. The Jags right now, 10-point favorites against the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll get to your Monday Night Football Challenge after we chat with Mike Tanier today.
Bengals pasty isn't that good either. I think you're onto something here. I think we got to, hey.
I really like this number tonight, you guys. I like it a lot.
Savage, are you listening? See you down there tonight.
Let's hop in on that one. Marco. Wow, this is a deep pull here. Hey, guys. Am I crazy for thinking that Jack Campbell Revenge Tour is still our best option in goal?
Well, it's an option, is it not? Wow. It's still an option.
Now, Marco, you got to clarify with me here. By the way, if you want to bet the NFL game tonight, do it at coolbet.com. Sign up with the code LOCKSHOP. When you do, you get 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. So if you deposit $200, they'll also bonus you $200. If you deposit $100, they'll bonus you $100. If you deposit $10, they'll bonus you $10 up to $200 there. Hey, guys, am I crazy for thinking a Jack Campbell Revenge Tour is still the best option in goal? Man, I got no take on a Jack Campbell Revenge Tour right now. I would love to see it. My God, would that be
it's an option
for him to actually become just the steady 1B to Stuart Skinner? And that would be great. But Marco, we just finished the Cool Bet segment. I would not wager on the Jack Campbell Revenge Tour being a thing between the pipes.
Maybe a sprinkle.
Like a Jack Campbell, a Jack Campbell appearance.
Oh,
Sure, but the full-blown Revenge Tour is asking a lot.
Yeah, he's cashing receipts at this point. Like, see? Ha!
Yeah,
I don't know about that. But you're right. Maybe a 1B. I mean, that's it. Yeah. It'd be great. It bumped the Zadorov story from TSN, that's for sure, right? They wouldn't be talking about how much the Leafs just missed out. They'd be talking about, hey, Campbell, Revenge Tour.
Campbell, oh, yeah, of course. They'd love that,
They'd have to move away from the Zadorov story.
Indigenous guys, and it says, I was watching Columbus-Boston game last night, and the guys on TV said the others looking at Spencer Martin, not Elvis. Yeah, that would totally make sense. Spencer Martin. Remember he had one great game against the Oilers when he was in the Canucks. Didn't he have like one game where for some reason, I believe.
They're all the same with a different name, hey? Right now, I think that's
if there's one thing you should do is you should trade for a guy that Columbus claimed off of waivers at the end of September. Like this is what I'm talking about. He's 2-6-1 with a 3.20 goals against average and a 902 save percentage. Last year with the Canucks, There's a reason this dude was waived. He had a 399 goals against average and an 871 save percentage. What are you accomplishing with this guy?
I don't get where all this goalie talk. Like, Stuart Skinner's been fine, like, lately. I don't get it. As long as the team's playing okay in front of him, he'll be okay as well. I'm super content with having Stuart Skinner right now. I think he's playing his best hockey in the last, 6-7 game stretch that we've seen maybe since last year in February when he was rolling hot. So I don't know. I think Stuart Skinner's fine. If they're going to make a change, it's I forget who it was in the chat, but defenseman I think is where they need to go. Stuart Skinner's good.
What say you? Hit us up. 780-218-9999. I mean, if they acquire Spencer Martin, that does not move the needle from Pickard's got better numbers in the American League. Like you have Spencer Martin. Pickard has better numbers in the American League than Spencer Martin did. And Spencer Martin's done nothing in the NHL for the last 2 years. Why would you be thinking that this guy's going to come in and help you between the pipes?
But I guess, are you comfortable with Skinner being your guy now?
Well, you have to be.
No, but you could bring in like a 1B, I guess would be.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure this guy's a 1B. Like, it just none of it makes sense. You're going to go to Spencer Martin in a playoff game if Skinner doesn't play well. No, you're not.
Kelvin Pickard, though. Right?
Well, I mean, at least you know Pickard.
Yeah.
That's it's quite the drug we're on here with this goaltending search. All right, let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda. Darren Dreger on the other side, league meetings. We'll get into that. We'll get into, Vancouver's already added one piece. Is there more coming there? What about Calgary? And we'll get his thoughts on Edmonton here. Is this break a good thing or a bad thing for the Oil? Let's get into a sports update for Park Mazda.
Jordan Love tossing 3 touchdowns as the Packers would pick up their third straight victory, 27-19 over the Chiefs on the Sunday Nighter. Packers now 6-6. KC fall to 8-4. You can join me tonight at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the conclusion of Week 13 in the NFL. It's the Jaguars and Bengals. It's also $11.99 loaded burger special, as well as a free square board with prizes on the line. Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. NHL action yesterday. Kings over the Avalanche 4-1. Boston 3-1 victors over Columbus, and Artemi Panarin with the hat trick. Rangers get past the Sharks 6-5. 6 games around the NHL tonight. The Oilers are back home to host Carolina on Wednesday. Edmonton Oil Kings falling 5-1 to the Warriors yesterday afternoon from Rodgers Place. The club have some time off. They will visit Medicine Hat on Friday. And the NBA in-season tournament quarterfinal action picks up tonight. Celtics visit the Pacers. Kings are at home to the Pelicans. Action will resume tomorrow with the Bucks hosting the Knicks and the Lakers at home to the Suns. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. As a family man, Mitch feels that being a father is the single greatest feeling on earth, not including those wonderful years he spent without children, of course.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as newborn 8-pound, 6-ounce Mitch Lewicki. You can picture grown-up Mitch, or teenage Mitch, or bearded Mitch, or whoever you want.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:32 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here today with us. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Or, of course, you can hit us up in the nasty chat on YouTube as well. Mike Tanier from The Messenger coming up. Ryan Rishaug around 8:25. We will go there today as well. Right now, Darren Dreger joins us from the West Coast, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. The Oilers are on a 4-game heater. Like you, the Pro-Am boys are relieved as well. Dregs, good morning from Seattle. How are things?
Yeah. So far, so good. It's dark. Not used to being up this early. I mean, obviously, we've got the 3-hour Pacific time zone change from the Eastern time zone, but now, got into Seattle unscathed yesterday. Met my connector in Vancouver. Got a good meal with Gino Retta and Chris Johnson. Was
Beautiful.
in the wrapper by 9 o'clock, and here we are. So ready for the day.
There's nothing like a relief of getting on that connection flight, even like especially if it's close, right? You're like, I'm going to make it. It always feels nice.
Yeah, well, and this was a tight connector from Vancouver to Seattle. We had just under an hour to get through customs and all of that.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah, it went pretty flawlessly, and they jammed us. They had like 70 people in a prop plane that probably should only have 60 people in it. Again, I'm not going to derail the show here by complaining because nobody cares about my first world problems.
But give it to us. Give it to us.
I'm always amazed at the size of the carry-on that people think is allowable. Why it isn't checked before you get on the plane. And then you're on this old, decrepit prop plane, and you're trying to jam this oversized carry-on. Above. It's not happening. So that probably knocked another 40 minutes into a delay just trying to get all these bags checked. But now, you know what? We got here, and here's a shocking revelation, fellas. It's raining in Seattle. It was raining when we landed, and according to the forecast, it's going to rain all week.
The entire time. Well, I hope you brought an umbrella, or at least the hotel probably provides you with umbrellas too. Yeah. Oh, the coffee's good. That's nice then. It's funny because I travel a lot during CFL season, and I've got a nice little roll bag. It's got my suit rolled around, so it fits good on those prop planes, and I never check anything. Yep. But last year when I went to Spangler, it was like there was a huge snowstorm in Toronto on the 23rd, and we were stuck there for like 30 hours. And the other guys checked their bags, but I packed a carry-on for 10 days in Switzerland. And, I mean, it was – I'm like – but we were flying on a huge plane, and I was in business class, so I knew we had room there.
Yeah.
So that's different. That's different than trying to jam a full-size thing into one of those small planes, man. That's absolutely ridiculous. All right, so what's going on in Seattle, Dregs? What's on the agenda here?
Yeah, you know what? The board meetings are, well, they can often be interesting, right? I remember back in the day when, they announced that they were going on a ticket drive in Vegas, and we hadn't been talking about that even a little bit. I mean, obviously they were testing the waters, and now we've got the defending Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights. So history tells us that on occasion, this meeting will present some big level news. This meeting isn't going to do that. I don't think there's nothing on the agenda that I see. I think it's more of an update of the recent general managers meetings along the Hall of Fame weekend where, they looked at some of the concerns with gambling, and automatically you think of the 40 plus game suspension to Shane Pinto.
Yeah.
And how both sides, the NHL and the Players Association, have to do a better job of educating these players on what they can and what they cannot do. You can't whack guys the way they did Shane Pinto and then not go to extreme lengths to make sure everybody 100% has clarity. So that'll be somewhat interesting. There'll be an international calendar update. Dusty, I know you mentioned the Spengler Cup. You're interested in that. What is the World Cup in 25 going to look like? Is there a business update projection on the Olympics? Can they get the international calendar in place? And then some business reports. So that'll probably take the better part of the next couple of days here.
Where are we at on player safety right now? I know the World Juniors announced that they're going to be wearing the neck guards, but where are we at on that in the National Hockey League?
Yeah, that's going to be a slow-moving process. Yeah. And I think we can appreciate why. Some of us are like, well, we cannot have another loss of life. We just can't see that again. And I'm probably on that side, but then I'm reminded of how long it took to allow players to get used to wearing the visors, right? And when they made mandatory visors, probably about 30-40%, my percentages might not be there, but a good chunk of NHL players were actually already using the visor. So when they made it mandatory, it was shifting like 50, 60, 65% to make it mandatory, not 100%. So there'll be ongoing discussion. I would think that, equipment could be discussed this week. I don't see the National Hockey League following the IIHF, though. And what'll be more interesting is what if the NHL players don't have a choice? Like if you're participating for your country at the men's worlds, they haven't decided yet at the men's and women's worlds in May whether or not they're going to make the neck protectors mandatory. A source indicated that he believes they will. So now NHL players are going to have to adapt. And if they do it on the men's and worlds stage, why wouldn't they do it for the Olympics? Right. So it'll happen internationally, perhaps, before it happens in the NHL.
Lots of conversation here with the Oilers. They don't play again until Wednesday, so in the middle of this 5-day stretch off, and lots of conversations today popping up. We know last week they were watching the Columbus Blue Jackets a little bit, so we've had about a million trade proposals in the last 3 days when it's quiet without games about the Columbus Blue Jackets. And people look at the need not to significantly upgrade Skinner because that's not out there, but they're trying to find somebody to sort of ride along with Skinner, Dregs. And I mean, does that seem possible at this point to you?
It does. It's possible, yes. Do you want to overpay? Well, obviously, Kenny Holland management doesn't want to have to overpay. But how do you value what an overpay is? Well, you do that. It depends on what you're getting back in return. I had a conversation with Mike Greer of the San Jose Sharks, and there's been that Mackenzie Blackwood speculation. That they're not necessarily related solely to the Oilers, but across the league. Well, why? Because he's having a really good start to the season. But, Greer affirmed that he's not interested in training Mackenzie Blackwood unless somebody steps up with the proverbial, an offer I can't refuse. So then you look around the league, Dusty, and Sam Montembeault just extended in Montreal, but that's more because the Montreal Canadiens see him as being their number one goaltender moving forward. Have clubs seen enough out of Caden Primo yet in his young NHL career to do exactly what you said? Could Caden Primo help Stuart Skinner? Yeah, probably. Maybe, not sure. We just haven't quite seen enough yet of Caden Primo. We like the pedigree. We like to think that they've developed him on a slow path in Montreal with good purpose. But you can't be certain that he's going to give you the 1-2 punch with Skinner that is going to stabilize that position. So maybe they just be patient unless something unforeseen pops into the market and deal what they have internally, which could be Jack Campbell again.
Darren, just sticking within the division, the Los Angeles Kings, .738 winning percentage this season. That's tops in the West, perfect on the road. I know shipping a few names out during the offseason, but what have you liked from them? I know Cam Talbot, a name familiar with this market, and we're talking goaltending, having an extremely good year. Your thoughts on the Kings thus far?
Well, you nailed it. For me, that's where it starts, because at the beginning of the year, I think we all looked at Los Angeles and thought that they were going to be a good club, formidable in the Western Conference. But the big question mark was the one that was written in pen, not pencil, beside Cam Talbot. Could their goaltending be sustainable? And it appears past the quarter mark of the regular season that it is. Now, knock on wood, and you can, put this at the feet of any player. Health has always been an issue for Talbot. Unlucky, 100%. He's been unlucky. If he has a good fortune year where he can stay healthy enough, the character of the man is going to really lock down that position, because Cam Talbot is one of those goaltenders who's been there, seen it, and done it. And faced adversity, oh boy, he did in Edmonton, he did in Ottawa, everywhere he's played, he's had to face some adversarial challenges. So the goaltending has been really, really good. And, I talked about Montreal and the development of Caden Primo. I don't know how much you guys have watched of Byfield, but he looks like he's going to be a real good player. And it's because, the Los Angeles Kings took their time with him.
Yeah,
they're still taking their time with him. They went out and made the trade for Pierre-Luc Dubois because they wanted to nail down center ice. And they know that Anze Kopitar is, he's getting up there. He's at, approaching the end of his career. So is the future Quentin Byfield and Pierre-Luc Dubois. Well, maybe, but they've got Byfield mostly playing on the wing because they want to develop him, and he's responding by being developed with top-end players. So I just like the makeup of that team and the stories that are within it.
Calgary Flames managed to move Zadorov out, but obviously there was a push by the player to make that happen, Dregs. Do you expect anything else coming out of our friends down south?
Well, they've got attractive commodities, right?
Yeah, they do.
I actually thought that Tanev would go first because he's a right shot. And, there's widespread interest, and with all due respect to Zadorov, I think the Vancouver Canucks would have preferred the right shot in Chris Tanev. But I also know that Rick Tocchet, like a lot of coaches, loves the big lumbering type of physical D-man. And you certainly get that in Nikita Zadorov. It's going to be interesting, though, because Zadorov has a pretty high opinion of himself. And that's not a knock. He's a very confident defenseman. He thinks that on basically every team, he's a top 3, certainly a top 4 guy. He's not. Yeah, he's a third pairing defenseman. That's what he is. And if he's playing bigger minutes and playing higher up in the lineup, then you're probably going to see his game erode a little bit. But it got the market juiced a little bit. And I know that Canucks fans were disappointed, I think is fair, in return for Nikita Zadorov, a 3rd and a 5th. But Calgary didn't retain money. Yeah, Toronto had keen interest in Zadorov. There were other teams with interest in him, but teams needed the Calgary Flames to retain, and Calgary needed those teams to pay a exorbitant sweetener to consider retaining, so they didn't do it. They could have waited longer, and maybe a 3rd becomes a 2nd as you get closer to the trade deadline. But as you said, Dusty, I mean, Nikita Zadorov was a good teammate. He just made it clear that his future wasn't in Calgary. So they made a pretty good deal, I think, with the Canucks.
Drags, as always, man, really appreciate you popping by. Thanks for getting up a little bit early today.
You bet. Have a good week, guys.
There you go. That's Darren Dreger. Find him on the Ray and Drags podcast twice a week. And, of course, at TSN Insider Trading and on Twitter, obviously. I'm kind of hoping that Drags breaks the Ohtani Soto thing. Wouldn't that be amazing? Sometimes those guys will slide over.
I like when they change the realms. Yeah, you get a basketball.
Imagine Dregs breaking Juan Soto and Ohtani to the Toronto Blue Jays. That would
that
be
cross promotion.
Absolute game changer. Yeah. Game changer. Krager's in and says, okay, so this is kind of a couple of things here. Fleury would be a great ad. He's not playing great this year, but as a backup to Skinner, that would be great for Skinner's development, or Jonathan Quick. I know they're both highly unlikely, but a fan can wish. Quick has been awesome with the Rangers this year.
And he can wish. That's a good. I like that.
He's not going anywhere. But when he says Skinner needs to step up and be that number one and be consistent, knowledge and advice from a goalie would benefit Skinner so much. Like if they're winning it all this year, it has to be with Stuart Skinner in it. It's just I think that's how it has to play out. So, I mean, do you think that's possible? Hit us up in the nasty chat or 780-218-9999. Do we have Mike Tanier? Mike Tanier is good to go.
I love the guests.
We're rolling along.
Yeah.
Imagine doing a show where we booked only back-to-back guests for 3 straight hours. 12 guests on the show. We should do that once a year. The big guest show. And we get like Jamie Thomas to pop by for a bit, just check in Huss pops on. Like, that would be a lot of fun. I feel awful that we're making Mike talk about the NFL today after everything that happened yesterday. Well, and that's not a great,
it is his job,
not a bunch of great games yesterday, but Mike Tenier from the Messenger, this poor bastard had to write about it. Let's bring him in. Mike, good morning. How you doing?
It's a struggle every week to write about the NFL. To sit in a tavern and sip a beer and eat some wings and watch second-rate football. It's a chore. It's almost like hammering nails up on a roof in the wintertime, and yet I persevere.
Please tell me, how many words did you write about the Chargers' 6-0 win over the Patriots?
About 350, and I'm not sure how, but I think I got all of my anger and frustration with all of life's problems out on me when I wrote about that game.
But honestly, there's nothing to say about that game, right?
The Patriots have the worst offensive output over a 3-game period since the 1938 Chicago Cardinals.
Oh, my God. Oh.
So we're going back 90 years, and I tried to look up the Chicago Cardinals, and there's no information on the internet about them. It's like they're a ghost. They don't even exist. So the Patriots are now like as bad. I did find out one thing. Their head coach was also their wide receiver. So there you go. That's where the Patriots are now.
Mike, we'll continue with the hits here, and just kind of going around the games yesterday. A 7-5 at one point in the Falcons-Jets with the old safety, 13-8 final. But you did write, Mike, Aaron Rodgers and the Sacred Timeline. Would you like to give us a little more about that up on the messenger.com?
Well, yeah, we had a funny week last week with Aaron Rodgers. At the beginning, with much fanfare, they announced that the Jets had opened the practice window for Aaron Rodgers. Every social media blows up, and we talk about this. And we discovered that opening the window up means that instead of standing perfectly still and throwing to coaches, he can now stand perfectly still and throw to players. And as the week went on, more and more cold water came on the story. And the bottom line is Aaron Rodgers wants to eat his cake and have it. He wants the story about how he's superhuman, but he doesn't want to go out there on the field behind a third string offensive line for a bad offense and risk further injury. He's looking for an excuse. So the excuse is the Jets get knocked out of the playoffs. Now, I don't think they're officially knocked out of the playoffs right now after their loss to the Falcons yesterday, which drops them to 4-8. Is it? But it's close enough that I'm waiting for sometime in the next couple of days we're going to hear, oh, you know what, Rodgers, even though he's ready to come back, these aren't the right circumstances, and it's in the best interest of the team that he doesn't return until 2024. Whatever. Very
much an anticipated game between the Niners and Eagles, and it ends up with the Niners pumping them 42-19. The Eagles fall to 10-2. What was the big takeaway from that game for you, Mike?
The 49ers are the NFL's best team. And, it's okay to reserve judgment until they face the Eagles, to sort of make doubly sure. But all the analytics, if you're really watching them, if you're looking at, like, the injury report and saying who's healthy right now, all those things, I think it's the 49ers, it's the 49ers, it's the 49ers. And the 49ers showed it yesterday. I think they beat the Eagles and Cowboys now by a combined score of 84-29. And those are the two best they're the only teams to worry about in the NFC, I guess, them and the Lions. That's how good the 49ers are right now. It was an angry win. It was a vengeful win because of what happened in the NFC Championship game last year. It speaks well to that entire organization, the 49ers, moving forward as they try to assert themselves as this year's Super Bowl champions.
Is Gardner Minshew going to lead the hottest team in the AFC and the Colts, who are 5-1 on the road after yesterday? Is he going to lead them to the postseason?
He almost certainly will. I don't have the odds in front of me right now because they've not been updated, but the Colts are 7-5. They've beaten every bad team you can possibly beat, but they're 7-5. So you beat the teams on your schedule and you get there. And Minshew remains an interesting character. The stat line looks good from yesterday. And if you ignore fumbles, if you ignore sacks, and you ignore all these other things, and you also give the Colts credit for or the quarterback credit for 2 blocked punts and 4 field goals and everything else. But you give the Colts credit there with what they have, with the backup quarterback, with Jonathan Taylor now hurt, with the injuries to Shaq Leonard, with a rebuilding roster. They're manufacturing these wins and they're winning the games they're supposed to win. And that usually pays dividends down the road. And hey, a wild card appearance doesn't hurt either. This is an organization that's been looking for some positives for a couple of years now.
What'd you think of the officiating late in the Packers-Chiefs game?
I think of the same thing of officiating everywhere all the time. And I'll say at least the weird calls kind of went both ways on that one. It looked like NBA makeup calls where there's like a ticky-tack roughing against Mahomes, and then they ignore a pass interference penalty. And there's a lot of NFL officiating problems. One thing we have to come to terms with is in the fourth quarters of games, quarterbacks are going to chuck the ball in the end zone looking for pass interference. The refs almost have to swallow their whistles a little bit. Otherwise, every game is going to be determined that's close by pass interference, no calls, yes calls, etc. So I don't know if the NFL has to come out and say something like, hey, in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, we changed the pass interference rule and it's got to be a little more flagrant or something like that. But like that game was like that. If people watch the end of the Texans-Broncos, that ended with like guys just getting mugged in the end zone as Wilson tries to throw the ball, etc. This is how these games end. It's not ideal for the NFL, but it's the only way, because if they called everything, again, we'd be complaining about everything's decided by flags, and that would be the storyline.
Well, it was funny because on the flag that everybody thought should have been thrown, and I think it should have, on the deep shot to MVS, all Mahomes was looking for there was a flag, because a Chiefs receiver is not going to catch a ball this season that far down the field, right? Like, he's heaving it up, hoping to get a flag thrown for them, and it came across as a bit of a makeup call for what obviously should have been a flag, or shouldn't have been a flag two plays earlier. So it's just, it's almost like consistently inconsistent, I guess.
Well, if you watch the end of the Jets' loss to the Falcons, Simeon came in at quarterback, Trevor Simeon, and all he's doing is throwing the ball to covered guys. Like, that is what it has descended to. Again, it's a 13-8 game. And it's like, maybe we can move the ball downfield. Is this guy's covered? I throw behind them. They collide. I get the flag. That's almost like the tactic at this point. So, and you're right. There's a degree to which Mahomes kind of launches that ball up there looking for the flag. There has to be a little bit of a recognition that, the refs are going to be swallowing the whistle a little bit. How much? I don't know.
What do you expect tonight? As of this morning, the Jags are 10-point favorites at home here against the Burless Cincinnati Bengals. Is there any way the Bengals keep it tight tonight?
Well, I mean, there's always a way everything keeps it tight. One thing the Jaguars often do is they do have trouble on offense on third downs. They go for a lot of fourth downs, and they don't seem to be really good at it. So the Jaguars could keep it close by getting a little sloppy along the way. That said, the Bengals are not equipped to win without Browning. Everything else they do is sort of without Burrow, with Browning at quarterback. Everything else they do is predicated on having that Burrow to Chase, Burrow to Higgins connections. Defense is a complementary piece. The rest of their offense is a complementary piece. I have a hard time seeing them doing anything except maybe working on a backdoor cover or something.
As always, man, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for popping by.
You got it. Take care and enjoy your week.
Oh, we will, Mike. We will enjoy our weeks.
Somebody say backdoor cover?
He did say backdoor. Well,
by a road.
We're gonna get in. We're gonna get into this right now. Yeah, I mean, 10 points is big. I like the idea of a backdoor cover, even though I might be on the Jags in this one. But 10 is a lot. Let's get into your Monday Night Football Challenge for Century Casino. Mike Tanier, brought to you by our partners over at Pro-Am Sports. They're also on the Dreger sponsorship as well. Your locally owned fan gear and fan cave specialists located on St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of Yellowhead, or online at proamsports.ca. Like you, they are fans too, and they do have the NFL swag that you are looking for. Join Lieutenant Eric tonight at Century Casino, Fort Road.
Sports Bar and Lounge. Hop on in. $11.99 loaded burgers tonight. You get a deal on some beer, highballs as well. We got the free square board going as well. It's free. Aside from the burger, $11.99, great deal though. You get to load that puppy up. It's a nice big.
Is that prime rib dinner happening on Monday night over in the restaurant there?
Thursday.
That's only Thursday.
Prime rib, yeah, that's a hit too. But,
yeah,
every night's a hit down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Backdoor 10 points.
Here it is. It's 10 points. So if you like the Jags minus 10 points. Text Jaguars right now. It's a 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you like the Bengals plus 10, maybe on the backdoor cover, like Mike had mentioned. If you like the Bengals plus the 10 points tonight, text Bengals to 780-218-9999. If you get it correct, you go into a draw. Tomorrow morning, we will draw a name. The boys will be in touch and win a gift certificate to Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road. Lieutenant Eric, where are you going to get on him, eh?
Yeah, why not? I don't know why.
I love when he does this. This is great.
Oh, you didn't know?
Road Dog!
You better call somebody! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions of the World! The Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws!
I love when he does that.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love when he does that?
There's a bartender at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge that every week, whether it's Monday or Thursday, and you get the big favorite and they're kicking ass, and then the backdoor cover starts happening.
You've told me about this.
He will emerge. He'll just pop up like out of nowhere, unsolicited, and he'll go, backdoor cover, and then he just disappears again. He only shows up for the backdoor cover. So I'm feeling like Monday tonight, Jacksonville at home prime time. But yeah, the Bengals have no business, but I could see them just garbage time, just getting that back. And I could.
So
see
he ever appears when the backdoor cover team is
only when there's a backdoor cover. I'm standing by myself back to the bar, and all of a sudden, backdoor cover. And that's the only time. So I could see him appearing tonight down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Give it to me.
Is he your typical nice bartender, like a good guy?
He's a good guy. Yeah, he's actually. And again, the bar is connected to the restaurant, so he's mostly on that side dealing with them most of the night. But backdoor cover bartender, always popping up, and I just have a feeling that he'll be around.
And if I was a bartender, I'd give all the regulars nicknames. He must give all the regulars nicknames, eh?
The staff there with us band of nasties that
show
merry
up,
men. We could write a book. I could do. I know we all want Dave Jameson to write the book, but the Scratch and Sniff book on the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino Fort Road, that will be a book. That'll be a book you'll need under your tree. all the nicknames, all the people. I've told you the story. The Tesla guy, huh? Right?
Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. DM me if you want to know the
Next year
deets.
we should do a mockumentary or a documentary about Monday and Thursday Night Football over there.
Yeah. Redacted footage because Trev's not allowed to film in the casino.
Hey, you too, Trev. When you were a bartender, did you give all the load like when people say they're regulars, like every night kind of pop by or like a couple times a week?
It's pretty insane. Like at BP's there was regulars that have been going there for over almost 20 years.
Really?
Every day, like pretty well. It's insane. One regular we had, and as for nicknames, I tried, but they don't like it. No.
They don't like it,
No,
eh?
they don't like it. I tried.
Hey, but even
giving
go
some
there every day,
nicknames.
you think you want sensible longing.
They're like,
sensible
no.
longing would be a nickname.
Yeah. I was all for it too, and they're like, nope, this is my name. Call me that. I'm like, okay, but it's insane. They all know each other. They all know each other's kids.
Yeah.
For almost 20 years, it's insane.
Yeah, like have a Christmas party and stuff.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
No, that's interesting. Coons Poker Parties is in and says Monday needs an updated pic of Rishaug. He has nowhere near that amount of hair. To which Rishaug replied, "Hey, Poker Parties, pound sand."
Hey, got your backs in there.
Can we talk for a second about using the term pound sand? When was the last time you heard anybody use the term pound sand? I don't think I've ever said that in my life. That's a deep pull, Shoggy.
Maybe when you get a yo-yo for Christmas, hey?
Yeah,
You tell Santa to
pound sand. My God. Let's go. Give us some other similar phrases to pound sand, because that's a deep pull, man. I'm impressed. I'm impressed that just happened. All right, let's get to a sports update for United Sport and Cycle. If you would like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today for Mr. Mike's, who wants to get their hands on a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's, we actually had Mr. Mike's last night. We ordered in Mr. Mike's while we watched The Grinch to kind of wrap up our Christmas day. So I had the classic Mike burger. It was delicious.
Tried going to Mr. Mike's for supper.
It was too busy, wasn't it?
Couldn't get in.
Menopause Nick was in there.
That's a classic Mr. Mike's story, hey?
Yeah.
Can't get in.
Yeah, tell us your
Went
best
on a
Mr.
list.
Mike's stories. It's always too busy. I can't get in. My God, imagine if they started selling the 6 o'clocker lager in there on tap. That'd be a game changer. Actually, I should talk to Mike about
Expansion.
That'd be a good
Expansion.
idea, actually. Yeah, that'd be real good. All right, let's get to a sports update. If you want to play, though, Kind of Easy Trivia, text us right now, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let YouTube Trev know that you would like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today. He'll pick one of you. He'll give you a call. We'll play trivia. We got 3 questions too many. We got the Got Your Back Monday Morning Mandate with Ryan Rishaug all coming up here in hour number 3.
Join me tonight at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the conclusion of Week 13 in the NFL when the Jaguars host the Bengals. $11.99 loaded burger on special, as well as a free squareboard with prizes on the line. The Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. Sunday night or so, the Packers pick up their 3rd straight win, 27-19 over the Chiefs. The Chiefs falling to 8-4. Packers now 6-6. The Oilers off until Wednesday when they host Carolina. 6 games around the NHL tonight. Yesterday, Quentin Byfield with a pair. Kings over the Avs 4-1. Boston 3-1 over Columbus, and Artemi Panarin with the hat trick, leading the Rangers over the Sharks 6-5. Oil Kings dropping one down at Rodgers Place 5-1 to the Moose Jaw Warriors yesterday. The club are idle until Friday when they visit Medicine Hat. And the quarterfinals of the NBA in-season tournament begin tonight. The Celtics will visit the Pacers while the Kings host the Pelicans. Action will resume tomorrow with the Bucks at home to the Knicks and the Lakers hosting the Suns. Sports update for United Sport and Cycle, your home of hockey for over 95 years.
Something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin, the poison that I crave. Come along for the ride, I'd make you feel better. Cut the rope that I tied, but then I broke my skin again. You got me fiending for that first high, but the feeling's not the same. You got me still
worked again.
Wow.
It's the house band, Whale and Wolf, inside the closet here. Playing the best tunes you're going to find. All right. Trev, you still grabbing somebody? Okay, you're going to get somebody there. We got Ryan Rishaug coming up. Lots of text messages rolling in here on the usage of pound sand.
Hey, go kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks or pound sand?
Kick rocks, pound sand. That's kind of the same thing, right?
Double A uses both phrases on the reg.
On the reg?
Which I would assume
that's
is
another
regular.
good one.
Yeah. He says it goes off way better than F off.
F off.
Which,
That's the last thing you want. Yeah, I mean, somebody said pound sand is a Dune reference.
You've rocked with Dune, have you not?
I haven't watched Dune. Somebody told me I'd love Dune. My buddy at the Edster, Eddie the Gambler.
You actually
He
would,
said
yeah.
that I would love Dune.
It's space. It's not really time travel, but I guess it's kind of.
Is there some time travel in it?
Jason Momoa. You know him
Jason
from the.
Momoa's in Dune?
Right? Yeah. He's
like there's Dune 2.
Yeah, new Dune.
But the new Dune.
It's like a.
Is it a
redux.
remake?
Yeah.
Of the original Dune.
Better special effects.
What happens in Dune? What do they do? Don't spoil it for me.
Well,
but what do they do?
It's about sand.
It is.
Yeah, and it's interplanetary, like it's in the cosmos.
So they travel from planets.
Yeah, and sand is the they pound sand. They use sand.
Do they kick rocks?
There is I think there's a rock or two.
What about
involved.
eat bricks? Is that one? Eat bricks.
I don't. You know what? I'd like to
like that
watch
one.
you watch Dune. I'd like
You
to
would?
see. I'd like to see your reaction live watching that film.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch Dune.
I think there are parts that you love from it, and then I think there are. That's an interesting.
You know what I've been watching?
Please watch
the last couple of nights when I kept falling asleep. Dumb Money, which is about the GameStop stock thing.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's some big names in it actually, but I keep falling asleep because I watch it late at night. I'm exhausted. So.
New season of Fargo.
I never watched Fargo,
episode
but I
1
heard
last
that's
night. Pretty
too,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, Dune. Do Dune, please.
I will do Dune. I will do Dune. All right, who do we have, Trev?
We've got Jason.
All right, Jason is going to play kind of easy trivia today, looking at his hands on that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. Sirloin bites to absolutely die for. Brand new location now in Fort Sask as well. Sirloin bites. Oh, so good. All right, let's go to Jason. Today needs to get 3 of 5 correct. Let's make sure I updated the questions last night. Yes, we are good to go. Jason, ready to play?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. I'll start the ticker. I have to read the first question. Good luck, man. Which team beat the Kansas City Chiefs last night?
Pack.
What position does Jordan Love play?
QB.
How many teams make the college football playoffs? What sport does Juan Soto play?
Baseball.
Did the Blue Jays make the playoffs this season?
Barely.
Oh, you got it. Barely. He's right.
And he got it! That is why I did it! At number 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year, we took it to the limit.
Take it to the limit!
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Congratulations to Jason. He's going to Mr. Mike's for the sirloin bites.
A weird performance, eh? Maybe one apt for a Monday morning. But
Yeah, I mean, it sounded a little Monday-ish. But that's not the end of the world. He got the job done.
He was hucking those things down the field, and he was getting the flags, eh? That type of thing. It's kinda-
Mission accomplished on a Monday. Why not crank it up a notch here? Let's do it. On a Monday?
Hey,
why not?
Who cares? We can do whatever we want.
See, remember Jaunty? If Jaunty was just doing this. I couldn't do it. I can't even move both my hands at the same time.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. Hello! It's not static AM radio. It's the Cool Bed Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in. He's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice to mix that in. It's nice to mix that in on a Monday morning, right? Gets you going. A little bit of extra buzz on a Monday. Nobody's going to complain about that. Damn, that just slaps. Kevin says, now there's a vibe. Let's go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ding, ding,
Vibing
ding.
now.
Campbell, the horns,
Vibing now.
The trumpets.
No doubt about it. That worked
Somebody
out really
spiked
well.
the punch.
Yeah.
The punch has been
well,
spiked.
there's lots. Was it Coach Mike? So after Rishaug in the chat there today said pound sand. We have a lot of good things popping up. Coach Mike says touch grass. Is that an actual saying?
Touch grass is great because it's like you are so removed from reality that you just need to go and touch some.
Touch grass, man.
Go touch grass.
Guys, I think the Oilers are gonna trade for Shesterkin because Quick's playing so well. Man, touch grass.
Getting people to like kick or pound, that's what, but just touch. All you need to do is touch grass.
Let's get it. So is touch grass, is that a saying, or did Coach Mike just come up with touch grass?
Oh, I've heard that one before.
Have you heard touch grass? Yeah. So let's come up with a new one. Like there's pound sand, there's kick rocks.
Take a hike.
Jump in the lake, take a hike.
Somebody said piss up a rope.
Piss up a rope. That's already a saying, right? Like that's touch grass. I mean, there's got to be something where you take an action and a thing and you put them together, and then that's our thing now, right? Come up with something. 7-8. This is probably how you win text of the day today for A&W. They're bringing back the Mama Burger. 2 Mama Burgers. Not bringing it back, but 2 Mama Burgers for $9.99 in the month of December. Long walk, short period. That's these ones have been done. But keep them. Go suck on a lemon.
Yeah,
go suck on an egg.
Lemon or egg. Yeah, either or. I'm fine with.
Look, there's got to be. Let's get those juices flowing. Get those juices flowing, and let's come up with something. Text of the day for A&W could be yours. $20 gift card coming your way.
Sit on it.
Sit on it. That's a thing, right? That we've heard that before.
It can be any. I mean,
yeah. Drink a brick.
Drink a brick, eh?
you're not going to win text of the day, Raider Jesse. I'll tell you that right now. But I like the creativity. I like your creativity with it. That's pretty good. Nasty chat, come on now. Don't be shy here. Sit on it, nerd. That's in from the Fonz. Drive Henday.
That's really crafty there. Yeah.
That's so.
No explaining.
It's so lame, but it's like, oh man, why don't you drive Henday?
Go drive Henday. Say that to me.
Don't you dare! It's like say that to me. It's when they call him a jive turkey in semi-pro. Did you just call me a jive turkey? Yeah. No, I told you, and then like just a bunch of vicious things. It's like, oh, I think you called me a jive turkey.
Very offensive.
Lick glass.
Yeah, that's.
Morning, guys. The obvious one is sip lager. That's a real good one. Chug rocks. Sit and spin.
Tickle a skunk.
Piss in the wind. Oh, man. Go tickle a skunk.
Have you ever actually seen somebody piss in the window and have it like?
I've pissed in the wind.
You've had the full experience.
Like on a windy day golfing, you had a couple of 6 o'clocker lagers. You're like, oh, I could take a pee anywhere right now. And then you go take a leak and it just blows right back at you. You're like, I instantly regret this.
Ball tournament, one of the dads went into the bush and we're all sitting in the vehicles and you could see what he's doing. Everybody's watching.
And
then he comes running out of the bush and he's just like pants. It was total chaos.
That's a good one.
Hey, kiss my grits.
Kiss my grits. That's been done, though, right?
That's an oldie.
Kiss my
oldie,
grits.
but a goodie.
Yeah, keep these rolling in. Let's pound this box today. 780-218-9999. Guys, the mornings you guys play lots of goal songs and clips is like the TV getting rolled into the classroom during school. The teachers treating the kids and probably a little bit hungover. I'm not hungover at all.
No,
I was up
great,
late working last night, but no, I'm not hungover.
Good sleep, eh?
Kiss my. Go get a porcupine. Tough. I don't know.
Go get a.
Keep them coming. I think there's eat paint.
Yeah, eat paint. That's a real good one.
Has that been done? That sounds like something that's been done.
Eat my shorts, you know, is the old.
Jasmine says, "Go play in traffic.
Eat paint."
Don't somebody get killed. But yeah, keep those rolling in. Let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Mitch has instructed his entire staff to tell them to eat paint after a successful sale. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. That's just how they kind of send you along their way. But
it got me more of a quarter of a tank. Remember, they were going to fill. I was like, oh, they're going to fill. I got more. They gave me a quarter of a tank of gas when they took my truck with no gas in it. I was like, I'll take that.
So that's like $50,
yeah,
$60?
That's probably $30.
$30.
Probably $30 they popped in there.
Not bad.
Which I thought was really nice. And that's why they're your dealer for life.
ParkMazda.ca. Visit them online.
The song says, yeah. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow on Twitter, as well as our Edmonton Sports Talk account at YEG Sports Talk. Give us a follow right now. Be up to date on all of the happenings in and around. Another busy week for Edmonton Sports Talk, and we continue heading into the Christmas season, I guess, now. Get your beers. And again, if you are missing any beers, if you're looking for some 6 o'clocker lager, tag us so we can take Scott from Sobeys and make sure that the lager is closer to your hands.
Pound sand.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Tombstone Tuesday tomorrow. I'm promising you, going to have more clips tomorrow. I'm bringing in a bunch of them tomorrow. We're going to have like a dozen clips. Say when. Have a bunch we can do a lot of things tomorrow. No. Chew foil, buddy. Eat glass. Eat snow. Forget you. Lick rust. Lick rust. Ugh. That would be gross. But lick rust is a good one, man. Lick rust. That's that's gross. All right, let's get into question number 1. 780-218-9999 is you can text in your questions. All right, if the Niners are the best team in the NFL, like Mike Tanier said, who's the second best team? I do agree. I do agree with the Niners being the best team in the NFL.
Is it the Eagles? I know the scoreline flattered the 49ers and such, but again, we pack up, we move on.
I think the how we have to do this is kind of eliminate teams.
Yes, okay.
Like not all there's a bunch of garbage teams. But
is your team then from the NFC or the AFC?
Well, let's just go through the NFC quickly. Could be the Eagles. Could like the Eagles could be the second best team. They're 10-2.
Cowboys out.
I don't think the Cowboys. Mind you, what if the Cowboys beat the Eagles next Sunday night? Then they're both 10-3.
Talk to me then.
Yeah. Good point.
I still don't really believe the beating up on bad teams.
Detroit Lions are 9-3. But even I'm not saying they're the second best team in the NFL.
But they could be. You just haven't been here before, right? That's that whole.
According to some people, they're a scheduled fraud.
And the South, we don't even need to talk about.
Okay, so then we go to the AFC, where there are 2 9-3 teams, probably a third 9-3 team after the Jags tonight, and then there's the Kansas City Chiefs at 8-4. Are the Kansas City Chiefs the second best team in the NFL?
This edition this season?
I don't know.
I don't think so, man.
I mean, their defense is pretty legit, but offensively.
Lots of questions.
I don't know. I don't think Kansas City's second best team in the NFL. The Jags, I don't think the Jags are second best team in the NFL. The Dolphins are 9-3. The Ravens are 9-3. Are one of those teams the second best teams in the NFL? Are one of those teams better than the Eagles?
No.
I still think
by
the
a hair.
Eagles. Yeah. I think by a process of elimination here, I think the Philadelphia Eagles, who do have the best record, in the NFL, would still be the second best team in the NFL.
With the Dolphins and Ravens nipping at the heels. Hey, is that how we're painting the picture? I think that's a fair way to kind of.
Yes, followed by the Cowboys and Lions. No, the Chiefs got to be in there. I would put the Chiefs still in that class with, who'd you say, the Ravens and the Dolphins?
Yep.
Yeah. Both those teams have better offenses than the Chiefs, and then I put the Cowboys and Lions kind of just in that next little group there with like the Jags.
That's tough. That's a tough little grouping. Those 3.
It is.
When you're talking about the halves, though, in the NFL, it's not so bad. You just eliminate,
Yeah, there's
all of the rest.
The Niners are up here, and then there's like 8 other teams who are right here, and then the rest of the league sucks.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. How can you take a league seriously when only a third of it is good?
I don't understand.
Garbage league.
I mean, if there's only 9 teams in the NFL, boy, that would be, if you did the math.
Imagine, that would be crazy. Question number 2, will the 6 o'clocker lager be available at the AM Nasty Summer Bash next year? I mean, I would hope it is.
Yeah, I mean that's a ways out. I mean the world could be.
Fergie's got to get that on tap. If we're doing
the
summer
lager and
bash
the ale
thing,
could be available, correct? I mean, who's to say?
6 o'clocker lager and the ale of the north. Come on,
I'm dreaming here. Otane, you know, sure, why not? Dream. When it comes to the 6 o'clocker lager, I think anything should be and can be possible.
We hit these numbers in the first hour of the show today, but let's just quickly reset it for you. I don't know if I liked it or did you retweet it? Is it from one of the Elks podcasts? Said that the
yes,
yeah. Do you have that?
Elks hurt. Yeah, just a second. I'll
was
pull
it
it
Elks
up right
hurt?
here.
It was a waiting list. You have to literally get on a waiting list for the beer at the Newcastle location.
Friends of EST at the Elksert on Twitter. 6 o'clocker lager so popular that Newcastle Sobeys has a pre-order list, a freaking list. Go sign up so you can get the good stuff on Tuesday, fresh off the pallet. And their name is down for 2 packs. Just getting on the list.
People are pre-ordering the 6 o'clocker lager.
Love it. And again, I hope it is in your name, your actual name, your nasty handle.
Yeah.
I want JBB in the big. I want everybody's on this weird list. What the hell is this? It comes across somebody's desk. What is this?
Whoever's sitting there. I mean, we have invaded Sobeys now permanently. Like. Anyway, the numbers that came across, it was launched on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we sold 1,092 units, which are 4-packs. So that's like over 4,400, close to 4,400 6 o'clocker lagers were sold in the first 3 days. Alley Cats launched the second run of it. There's going to be more available. I'm sure they're going to be moving it around. Flats arriving at some of these more popular locations. And then I'm going to sit down with Alley Cat this week or next, and we'll talk about making it a permanent thing, which will be, I mean, it's delicious. The beer is absolutely bloody delicious.
I just want to see a tap head in a bar. I want to see the little conch on top, and
I want to see a novelty-sized tap head here in the office.
Yes.
Like one that we can ride. You know? That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Go ride a tap head. That's what they say on the...
Yeah. Hey, 6 o'clocker lager hunters, you just made the list. Yeah, that's a classic wrestling line. All right, question number 3.
I think there was somebody hawking them in the nasty chat this morning for double the price.
Yeah. Hey, I got one. I'll sell it to you for $28.
Which I really kind of like.
You got to respect the grind.
Oh
man,
you
have to respect the grind.
We be grafting. Yeah.
All right, and let's get to this one. Question number 3. How'd you guys feel your sports time with 5 days between Oilers games so far? We're only halfway home, right? Well, I guess today would be closing in on the other half.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Shohei Ohtani, right? Look over here, everybody.
Mostly just watching Blue Jays rumors, I guess.
For myself, I guess, answering the question here, some Premier League action this week. It is a midweek Premier League week, so you got matches tomorrow and then Wednesday as well. So there's a bit of, the NFL, of course, never sleeps, as they do. So Monday Night Football this evening. NBA quarterfinals of the in-season tournament tonight and tomorrow. So, a few things. And then the weekend's the weekend. I mean, you got hockey going on. You can kind of say, it's the weekend. So now you got today's basically over. Then you just got one day, and then Wednesday's game day. So it's really not that long, right?
I didn't watch a ton of sports throughout the weekend. Like Friday night, we had movie night. Then I went and caught up with a couple of my buddies.
Did you go to the birthday?
I did.
Wow.
Went.
So come on, let's hear about this. How did you weasel your way out of there?
I took an Uber out to Sherwood Park, which is a long Uber.
Yeah.
But it was just like a nice little house birthday party.
Yes.
But I didn't get home till like 3:30.
So you got home though.
Yeah. So I got home. So I wasn't in great shape Saturday morning. But then coached hockey.
Yeah. Okay.
Marshall was in net on Saturday afternoon.
And you did the Christmas decorating. Like you got it
all.
And
then yesterday we did all of our Christmas stuff. It
was
a
party,
great
late
weekend.
Night. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a great weekend. Had a really good time. My one buddy bought me. Have you ever bought a buddy underwear? Have you ever bought a buddy a pair of boxers? Yeah, it was interesting. My buddy Matty bought me a pair of boxers, and he'd been saving them for a couple months.
Is it your birthday?
No, it wasn't my birthday.
Was
but
it
I got
Christmas
a present.
gift exchange?
No, I got a present though, and it was like these boxers. I'm not wearing them right now, but
does it come in made like a sandwich? It's like here's your saying. You open it like those new novelty ones. Is that?
You know what it came in? It came in something that looked just like a box of Pop-Tarts. And then I opened it up, and they were Pop-Tarts boxers. And they were amazing. Big blueberry Pop-Tart boxers.
And you got them.
Oh, it was amazing, yeah. I stuffed the entire thing in my mouth. It was incredible. So I came home at 3:30 in the morning on Friday night with popcorn or Pop-Tart boxers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can expect a third Nielsen child on the way in how many months, eh? I mean, that's gonna up the ante in the bedroom, eh?
Oh, that wasn't going to happen when I got home.
Are they edible?
That's for sure. But yeah, then I watched a good chunk of the Lions-Saints game.
Yep.
And then probably second half of the Eagles-Niners game, and then the Sunday Nighter. So I did plow through kind of a meh day in the National Football League. But yeah, I'm ready for the Oilers to return. We're gonna get into that here. Ryan Rishaug is gonna join us for the Monday morning Got Your Back mandates. Let me play this man's music, right? Here we go.
Timberlake rocks.
Is that a mandate of yours?
God, what are we talking about here? Good question. Can some of it be about sports? Yeah. All he needs to do is just get in front of people and state his case. If they had the mandate from the people, blah, 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 I don't know where that information came from, but I would question it.
Time for the morning mandate with Ryan Rishaug.
This is what sports broadcasting is all about.
You know what? That may be a good point, Ryan. You broke the story, Ryan.
Rishaug is one giant 6'2" pile of Charmin.
Got Your Back Monday morning mandate. You can visit gybpod.com/YEG. Boys dropped a new episode last night. Ryan Rishaug joins us this morning. Shoggy, good morning, buddy. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Somebody gave you underwear, Dusty.
Yeah, they did.
Male friend gave you underwear as a gift.
Yeah, and I put it on the very next day. I was very excited about it. And I mean,
you think about them while you're wearing them? Like, is that?
That's a weird question.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder. I mean,
no, I guess I didn't. I guess I just sort of accepted them as a new set of underwear, which I'm never really going to say no to. And they actually fit relatively well, so that was nice.
You should think about him all the time when you're wearing those underwear. Every time you pull them on, Dusty, as you're pulling on those underwear, I want you to picture your friend's face.
I will do that. And now you know what's going to happen? I'm going to think of you when I put on these underwear because you've been telling me to picture my body.
Mission accomplished.
So,
well, you weren't thinking of me when you were in Sherwood Park the other night there, friend.
Well, I didn't get out there till relatively late.
Private affair, right?
Yeah, it would have been something if I was banging on your door at 3:30 in the morning, though, eh?
There's always space at the Rishaug house for a drunken Nielsen.
You got a couch in the basement somewhere I can sleep in?
100%. I got an empty room. Noah's in Saskatoon, so I got an empty room upstairs.
Yeah. I know that works then. Shoggy, you tell a lot of people pound sand, or did you just come up with that one today?
Yeah, I think I might have picked that up from Dregs. I feel like that's one Dregs uses fairly often. So I think that might have been where I absorbed it. I don't know why. I just like the way it sounds. I just think it hits.
Pound sand.
Pound sand. There have been some good suggestions that have come in, though. I've been paying attention.
Yeah, no, there's been some pretty good ones. I think like chew glass is very similar, I think, because you squish sand enough, doesn't it turn into glass? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, almost the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that.
The one, and I can't say it in its entirety because it involves an F-bomb.
Jeez Louise.
But it was kind of a less Rishaug special, more used in a joking way. Like if you were bugging him, he would throw this at you. I'll just say screw.
Okay,
instead
sure,
of
yeah.
the other word. He would say, so if you would annoy him, then he would pause and go, "Hey, tell you what, if the opportunity to screw off presents itself today, you go ahead and take it."
That's a lot. I mean, that's a full sentence.
It's a mouthful.
That's a full sentence.
But you grab their attention, right? And they're like, huh? And then you just smack them across the face.
Give them permission, to
Jeez Louise. My goodness. Shoggy, the Edmonton Oilers not back in action until Wednesday, but they went into this break on a 4-game heater, winning 4 games in 4 different ways. I think they would have had to probably been feeling pretty good about themselves. This break, I don't view it as a bad thing. I think they would have probably liked to have kept rolling, but how do you view this downtime for the team?
Yeah, not great. Not great. They needed it a few weeks ago. You can't make the schedule, so there's nothing you can do about it. But no, this break came at a terrible time for them. They were finally starting to grab onto their game. They were finally starting to put some building blocks in place. And the thing that makes that stick is repeating, right? Rinse and repeat, just over and over and over again. When you're looking for consistency in your game, when you finally get it, the last thing you need is a pile of inconsistency in your schedule. So no, This was not a good thing for the Edmonton Oilers. The timing of it was terrible. And now it is going to be a challenge for a team who has had shaky consistency and shaky confidence at times to come back. And when bad things happen, and they will, to be able to steel yourself the way that they need to. I'm not saying they're not going to be able to. I just think that this timing was not good, flat out. Now, some guys get healthy, and that helps, and that's always going to be good for a team. But the Oilers needed, like, they were 7-3 in their last 10. They needed to put a good 15, 18 game stretch together to really prove that they're back.
Yeah.
And they're not quite there yet.
Ryan, I'd just like to see, too, like a 3-7, 5-5. They're kind of 3-0 on this mini 10-gamer now. And you mentioned a bit of time off. Do you subscribe to any notion that, maybe, Knobloch's still a new coach, I guess you could say. Is there any time now with this week to kind of do things, institute things that he would have wanted to that maybe didn't get the chance or something? And also kind of a second part, these next 6, how do you kind of see this thing shaking out at home beginning Wednesday against Carolina?
Yeah, well, I think had they not rattled off 4 straight wins,
4, yeah,
like the to-do list might have been a little longer. Had they not fixed some of the elements of their game that they fixed, then maybe the coach is looking at this break and looking at these string of practices, and they're practicing three days in a row, right? I was down there yesterday and watched. There wasn't a ton of system stuff that they did. There was some, but it was more about just getting the feet moving and lots of pucks blitzing around, and they had some fun, did some fun drills and stuff. But had they not won those games, maybe he feels like he needs to tinker more. And I think he probably, through the break, there's some things I'm sure he wants to round out and some more details he wants to put in, but I just can't help but think the to-do list was a little bit shorter. Like if I were him, I'd kind of be like, penalty kill is going fantastic.
Yeah.
Power play has got itself sorted out. Those massive mistakes and odd man rushes, they've cut back on. The defensive blown coverages that were happening constantly are tightened up. So I probably wouldn't be mucking around with too much because the team has been in a good little. So I would say it's probably details, Eric. And as for the next 6, like, it's good for them. They just play. If you want to get back into the playoff race, an easy schedule with a pile of games at home, and I just mean easy in terms of workload, this is a good opportunity for them. Or it could be a bad opportunity because if you drop the first 2,
if it
and the temperature goes up,
yeah,
this is the last place you want to be if you're the Edmonton Oilers when the temperature gets ratcheted way up with 2 losses and how crazy things have been this season.
Obviously, Connor McDavid has taken it to even another level here over the last little while. But who else has impressed you over these last 4 games, Shoggy?
Who else is impressed? Well, I think Stuart Skinner has shown some resilience here. Nobody is under more scrutiny game to game with every single thing that he does than Stuart Skinner. The pressure, I can't even imagine what it's like trying to be a starting goalie in the NHL, let alone in Edmonton, let alone a team with this expectations, let alone a team and a player that started that way. So I think there has to be a huge amount of pressure on Skinner right now, and I think he has really steeled himself and done a good job. Hasn't been perfect, but they're not supposed to be. You got to give your team a chance to win on a lot of nights, and he's been doing that recently. So I would say he's been pretty good. I mean, Evander Kane, right, has been banging and crashing. He's been hitting like crazy. He's been scoring goals like crazy. So I think his game has been pretty good. Darnell Nurse has been really good through this stretch as well. Keeping his game simple, which allows him to make really, really smart plays when he's not trying to do too much. I think we've seen some of the intelligence in his game come out when he simplifies. I mean, some of those passes he's made, you guys have been fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah, they're getting better performances from a lot of players right now.
Just sticking
and
with
Ryan McLeod scored an empty netter.
Well, that's
he did. He off the
boy,
side.
Did we celebrate that one? Are you buying
you
or will you be purchasing tickets for the Jack Campbell Revenge Tour? Are you going to buy the shirt? Or are you going to do the whole bit?
And I said this, I don't know, it wasn't long after he got sent down. My sense was before a trade was coming on the goaltending front, and it was in a string of tweets I sent out, that I would expect Jack Campbell to likely get another look up.
Another look before
a
trade, yeah.
Before the Oilers did a deal on a goalie. I mean, listen, if you are trading for a goalie and thinking about moving Jack Campbell, like, I think people need to really firmly grasp what the cost of moving Jack Campbell would be. I mean, he has like $10 million left on this contract. It's monstrous. So if you want to just get that asset off your books to create space to bring something in that has positive trade equity, So just the amount of stuff that goes into trying to move Campbell out and bring a better goalie in, and goaltending is such voodoo. Is it a guarantee it's going to be even better? So I guess I would ask Oiler fans, would you be willing to put your first round pick in play for a chance that a guy might be better than Campbell when Skinner's doing what he's doing? And really, we're talking about trying to find someone to come in and be a backup. Like, moving Jack Campbell is going to be monumentally expensive. And I get it. It hasn't been good. But do you really want to take that risk when it's not a guarantee it'll be an upgrade even?
I don't think you can put this year's first round pick in play for a 1B. You know, and you don't even know.
No chance.
Because, like, I was going to ask you next,
chance.
like, is there a goalie out there that legitimately moves the needle for you in this conversation?
I mean, but again, not if it means having to package the assets with Campbell to move him.
Yeah, exactly.
That has to be part of the conversation. That's basically where the conversation starts. What does it cost to move Campbell? Who's coming in? Not worth it. What does it cost to move Camp? That guy? Not worth it. Like, it equals not worth it in almost every scenario you can think of, unless it's a bigger deal that brings in an absolute guarantee in net. Like, who knows what Skinner's going to do here? If I'm the Oilers, I'm watching this situation now and I'm going, okay, looks like Skinner might be getting his game in order. He's got lots of rest, homestand. Let's run him these 4. Keep an eye on Campbell in the minors. Don't need to panic. And see where we're at after this homestand and see if Skinner is for real here. I know it's not what Oiler fans want because it's frustrating and they want change, but there is a certain amount of patience that you can put into play given the schedule right now versus making a no guarantee bad trade.
Carolina, Minnesota, New Jersey, Chicago, Tampa, Florida. Game every second day, so no back-to-backs here for them. I think a couple of these teams have them. But, New Jersey's kind of got their game going a little bit again. Florida's been steady. Carolina's definitely going again. Minnesota's always posed issues, but I think if the others play like they were the last 4, what are you expecting? What are you expecting from this 6-game homestand here? Yeah, well, I'll be really interested to see the first 2 periods of the first game, right? Like, what did they bring back from the break? Did they come back and is there going to be a big dip that they're going to have to fight their way through? Or are they going to go out there and be a team that makes sure? Like, if you're the Edmonton Oilers, why would you not just absolutely come out like a house on fire in the first period? Because you want to leave nothing to chance. Throw everything you have at that first period to make the statement, break didn't matter, we are here to stay. So I'll be watching that first game with a lot of interest to see. And that's a tough one against Carolina too, right? Like it is. Yeah. They're frustrating. It's not an easy, we saw it earlier this year. It's not an easy, but the Oilers are a good enough team. They can dictate, right? Especially with last change, they should be able to dictate. So if they come out on their heels and are tentative and unsure and bad things, like that'll just be, everybody will be thinking, here we go again. Now, the Oilers players, are they going to be thinking it? That's what I'm interested to know. How much has 7 wins out of 10 built resilience back into this group and bolstered their confidence that they're the team they were before and not this new team that showed up for this season? So, I just think the start getting back here is going to be extremely important. They can't back their way into this homestand. And with 6 games here on home ice with the Oilers situation in the standings, you have to win 4 of these games. You have to have 4 and maybe pick up a point in one of the other ones. Anything less than that, and it'll be not the pace that they're needing to play on given their schedule. You got to take advantage of these opportunities in your schedule. Shoggy, when's the next Got Your Backdrop? So we got a fresh one from last night. By the way, Struddy's World last night, he took a run at a former teammate in Struddy's World last night. I'm not going to give you too much detail. All I'll say is a former teammate of his was described as looking these days like a half-melted candle. Ooh, it was aggressive. Ouch. So yeah, it was aggressive. So one last night, and then I think we're going to drop one Tuesday night ahead of the Oiler game that's set to go on Wednesday. So Tuesday night. Beauty, buddy. We'll talk to you next Monday. All right, take her easy, guys. There you go. That's Ryan Rishaug. Oh, I should have told him to pound sand at the end. I was going to say pound sand.
You look like a half-melted candle. Hey?
Visit gyppod.com/YEG. I had an episode last night. They're dropping another podcast tomorrow as well. This text is in and says, guys, it's $13.5 million Campbell has left after this year. The cost is at least 2 first-rounders to dump him. 6 years of dead money and a buyout is just simply too ugly. I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Revenge tour.
I'm sitting here. The revenge tour, right?
Well, you hope for it, right? I mean, you said it to kind of start the show. That would be an ideal scenario here. I don't know the likelihood of that happening, and I'm sure Oilers fans in the nasty chat, Paris Jewelers inbox, have been refraining that. But that's maybe what you hope and hold on to here. And somebody suggesting you just give this thing to Skinner till Christmas, reevaluate then in terms of maybe a backup plan to him. But I mean, Campbell finding himself would be the biggest gift under the tree, I think, for Oilers fans, whether or not it's realistic.
Where's that Jack Campbell that popped up in the postseason last year? And it was always just in relief duty.
But that's all you need.
Relief, that's the relief. Yeah, I mean,
you don't need
that game against LA when he topped 27 of 28. And then he came in 3 times against Vegas. And ended up stopping, in the playoffs last year, he stopped 49 of 51. What happened to that guy?
Those are Aiden Hill numbers.
Those are Aiden Hill-like numbers. It's going to be pricey. It's going to be insanely pricey to move out Jack Campbell. I mean, is there a way where you move that contract for another team's not so good contract that could maybe help you on like the blue line or something, and then you try to flip like I don't know.
You're getting real creative here.
I was trying to be like, then you flip Fogle for a goalie or how that works. But yeah, it's I don't know what you're supposed to do there. Let me throw this out to you. Do you want to see Jack Campbell one more time before pulling the trigger on a trade for a goalie? Like, I don't think it's crazy to say that the Oilers are limiting chances better now than they were prior to him being sent down. Like, I think they're playing better hockey than prior to him being sent down. Now, so many of you might be like, well, Dusty, they're only playing bad hockey because of Jack Campbell. Stuart Skinner, even when Skinner was in net, they were giving up goals off the rush at an alarming rate. Would you be somewhat intrigued? And it's okay if you're not, just tell us. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat as well. Would you like to see Jack Campbell prior to a goalie trade behind what appears to be a more refined Oilers club? Is probably, I think, the best way that I can put this. What say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Josh of the North says, I don't think you can because every game matters. Penner's Pancake says, give him one last look. Yes. With a more stabilized D, Campbell might be okay, maybe.
One more last chance, as Vince Gill likes to say. Hey, maybe that's the case. That would be the case, though, with the D as it is now. One more. One look.
GSM says, the Oilers going into a playoff series with Skinner and Campbell as the goalies won't scare any team. Here's the thing, JSM. At no point from here until the playoffs start are the Oilers going to have a goalie that scares a team. Whether it's Skinner and Campbell, Skinner and Pickard, Skinner and Rodriguez, Skinner and Jake Allen, Skinner and Blackwood, Skinner and Murzilkins, they're not going to have a goaltending tandem that scares teams. It's completely unrealistic to think that they're going to be able to build that between now and the deadline. If this team is going to scare teams defensively, it's going to have to be by continuing to play relatively solid defense.
One more look. One more chance. Everybody wants it, nasty chat. One, just one.
We'll run a poll on this on the oil stream today. Tommy and I will poll this bad boy today from 12 to 1. I'll be interested to see what he thinks about it. If the team defense cleans up the players alone in front of the net, then Campbell might be okay.
I think you have to at least see what you have with him again. Who knows? Maybe if he plays better, it makes the trade more interesting for another team that comes in from RJ.
JL makes an interesting point. Campbell had better numbers when he was sent down than Skinner did. Give him another chance. And actually, Campbell did have better numbers than Skinner when he was sent down, and Skinner's numbers have improved since. Now, did Skinner's numbers improve because Campbell wasn't around and he wasn't worried about losing the net? Or did Skinner's numbers improve because the team in front of him started playing better? And could Jack Campbell's numbers match those of Skinner lately if he gets the call back up? These are all questions that the city is wondering.
One more chance. Just one more chance.
You're fully on board. One more chance.
One more chance. I think we've kind of, we're all in it now. Like, one more chance. Bring him up. Get him up today. Let's go.
Eric says, given that they sent Jack down when his stats were actually better than Stu's, I don't think that helped his confidence, and they maybe owe it to him to have one last kick at the can.
I like that saying.
Jack Campbell is a confidence killer. He needs to stay away from this team. Skinner needed to clean up Campbell's mess and regain his own confidence. Ride with Skinner. That's in from Jasmine, bringing the fire today.
This text says, remember Dubnyk. And that's it.
Sorry, I don't. Just kidding. Yes, bring him back. Ekholm is back and has stabilized the D again. That one in from Tazer. Bob Loblaw in Lloyd. Yes, we have to give Campbell another shot. The only thing I can think of that came out of those is that, I've never played Kick the Can. Did you ever play Kick the Can?
When you were a kid, yeah.
Yeah, everybody always said, play Kick the Can. I never played Kick the Can.
It wasn't the best game.
What is Kick the Can?
Well, you have a can at the home. You go out and hide or whatever, and then you got to go home and you got to kick it. Like, once you kick the can, you're like home free. To my
just like hide and
interpretation,
seek?
Yeah, it's the can is your home base and you kick
hide and seek with like a finish, a goal at the end.
That's how I learned, and I'm not too overrated game.
I feel like I didn't miss out on anything.
No. Hide and seek is the CFL. Kick the can is like the NFL. It's just got the glitz and glamour of a can.
And then yada, yada.
Yeah,
the Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0. Yeah, never once in my life did I play Kick the Can. I don't know if it's because we didn't have a bunch of cans laying around as kids or what.
You don't want to be kicking the bottle.
Justin Balgoni is going the absolute opposite way. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Campbell needs a stint in the ECHL.
Aha.
Guys, people are being hard on Campbell thinking he was going to get a shutout in the AHL every single game. Newsflash, there's good players in the farm too. I'm begging Edmonton media to get off the Merzilkin bandwagon. He's worse option than Campbell. Same numbers, worse cap hit.
But maybe better defense, right? Now that the Oilers have turned it all around, right? It is situational.
That's why I think you just give Campbell another look.
Right. But you do that.
I'm not saying right now. I'm not saying even before Christmas.
But you do the in-house option first. Like, there's every possibility that if you were to go out and get a guy like Elvis and he comes in here and maybe the situation, maybe he loves Edmonton, right? Maybe he goes to the mall every second day and this is like he thinks this is like a second home. It's a career 2.0 awakening for him. Probably not, but that does happen sometimes in sports, right? You go to a place where your strengths are more nurtured or you're behind a better system or defense in this case, and you play better than you were. Probably not with these guys, but I'm just saying there is a case to be made.
You want a crazy take? I'll give you a crazy take right now. Now, this is obviously due to the fact that they're going to have to move a first with him to get rid of him somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a major mistake to trade Jack Campbell without giving him a look behind this improved Oilers defense right now.
You gotta have a look. No, you gotta have a look.
You need a look.
You're already here. You don't have to go out and bring Campbell to have a look. He's here.
Yeah,
give him a look. Then you can.
Am I nuts? Somebody tell me if I'm nuts. Am I nuts? I don't think I'm nuts. I think this. Like, think about the odd man rushes this team were allowing for the first up to the last 2 weeks, and now they've started to dial those in a little bit. Like, it seems like it's not as much of a cluster F in the defensive zone. And that should help Jack Campbell. So before trading him away, I'm not saying never trade him away, but I think it would be a mistake to not see what you have with Campbell behind the Oilers that we've seen for the last 3 weeks. Guys, I don't mind giving Campbell another look. Only thing I'd be worried about is the Oilers play differently in front of him. They seem to be more offensively in order to outscore the other team. That might mess up the progress that they've made on the defensive side.
That was the before times, though.
Yeah.
Right? This is the new. This is the 2K era. Coughs on it, et cetera, et cetera.
This one says, hi, has anyone looked at his record and the 2 goals he led in last game? Get him out of here. All right. Kick the can was fun, but base tag with the base being your trampoline is elite. Shout out to Brown Bear. It comes in from Operator Rich. I have no idea what's going on there, but
Brown Bear, shout out.
Yeah, huge shout out, Brown Bear. Bring him back. I say it is soup season. People are still just loving soup jokes.
I mean, I'm not going there.
I don't
but
understand how
we're looking for a look. Not a big bowl of hot soup here.
Soup jokes, eh?
Long way from that. This is instant soup as it is right now.
Dan is in it. Says Jack Campbell is 40th in AHL save percentage over 7 games. He needs to be top 15 minimum over a sustained period of time, I would think, before we can say he's found his game. Hey, nobody's saying he's found his game.
No.
Don't you dare come in and put words in our mouth. Go ahead. Rewind the tape. It's right there on YouTube now. Nobody claimed that he found his game. I'm just saying that you should probably give him one more look behind. If you truly believe, if the Oilers management, whatever it consists of, if you truly believe that your team has found its game and is playing better defensively, then you probably have to give Jack Campbell one more look. Have to. It's all good. The Oilers are going a heater moving forward. I went to a sweat lodge this past weekend and prayed to my ancestors for the Oilers to play a sound game moving forward. That went in from an Indigenous guy. There you go. Whatever you need to do, however you need to contribute. Greg Lockhart says, Campbell needs to play more, not come up and ride the pine while Skinner gets the start 6 out of 7, 8 games. Fair enough. Well, like we said, not now. I'm just saying before they trade for a goalie and pay a first and something else to move Jack Campbell's contract, you got to at least give him a look behind the current Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, in front of the net, not on the bench. Playing.
Yeah.
Campbell needs to make like a tree and get out of here. Text flies in at 780-218-9999.
It's make like a tree and leave.
Good combination.
Right back to the future reference.
Yeah,
I love that. This is interesting. Putting Campbell in net is the ultimate test to see if our defense is improved.
No, that's a good
marker
as well.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it not?
I would argue if you need help on the blue line
if
as well,
all of
maybe
a
that's
sudden Campbell looks steady for 3 straight games behind, then you're like, oh, the Oilers actually are playing sounder defensively. It's a pretty good Campbell. That could be a text of the day thing there. Campbell needs to make like a tree and get out of here.
You get the conversation, you get the Back to the Future tie-in. I mean, he's hitting all the boxes.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
where's 514? Where's it? Is that a local area code now?
Interesting.
We have a new 514 area code?
How exotic.
Nobody wants a 514 number. That sucks.
Put it on the map.
Yeah, it's just somewhere in Edmonton. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it wrapped at William Huff. They've been doing it since I was, 9. They've been doing this since my mom was like 10 years old. Okay? They're good at it. They'll take care of it for you.
Get a car from like Park Mazda and they'll wrap it for you for Christmas. Like they're wrapping the whole
and it's wrapped like a present.
Yeah. With a big
then I have to wait for them to unwrap it to see what it is. Josh Clausen is here. Damn it.
Yes.
Look at this. Unbelievable. WilliamHuff.com is where you can find them. Like I said, they've been doing it. Wrap Rodgers, wrap Commonwealth, wrap everything, including the Edmonton Sports Talk offices. What did you learn on the show today, buddy?
We're back on the Campbell tour. We've bought tickets. We're queuing up for the tour shirts. Rishaug's on board. You and I are on board. What a final hour it's been.
That would be quite something.
It's not a tour, but let's take a look. Other than that,
it's a
nothing.
peek. It's a sneak peek.
It's a sneak peek. It's a lean.
That's
it's a
how I would
sprinkle. It's
describe
whatever you want. You got to see what you got. But we're all kind of coming around to that again. Oilers are off until Wednesday. This is the time to discuss those things. Outside of that, Dusty, I mean, any breaking news this morning? You learn anything breaking?
Well, I know we have a new sponsor on board.
Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. Shohei Ohtani. Green Plan hopped on with sports updates.
Yes.
So huge shout out to them. If you're doing anything that requires like environmental planning and guidance, Green Plan can help you. Green-plan.com.
780-455-4292. Give them a call as well. Municipal, industrial, or residential. Plan it right with Green Plan.
Yeah, buy like I want to buy a piece of land just to work with these guys. Just a small piece of land, but I want to buy a piece of land.
Just
and
a
then
look. Yeah.
Call Davin over at the Green Plan and be like, come in and let me know what I can do with this.
Look at this.
Yeah. That'd be
What do you
good.
do here? Yeah.
Yeah. I think, anyway, that's what these guys do. So it works out really well. Happy to have them on board here moving forward as well. Hoping to add a couple more partners over the next little while as well. So, look, man, Edmonton Sports Talk. Taking off like crazy, right? All thanks to the 6 o'clocker lager. Change the game. That's another thing we learned today. 6 o'clocker lager. We moved 1,092 units in the first 3 days. That doesn't include Sunday, I think. So maybe probably like 1,350 units in the first 4 days of the 6 o'clocker lager. And it is, I mean, that just goes to show that it's delicious, right? People aren't going to be
the initial buy.
it.
The initial buy is one thing, but the keep coming back.
So for those of you who are on wait lists for it, I would say, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's worth the wait, right? It's worth the wait. It just is. It is 100% worth the wait. All right, let's get to your sound of the day today. Man, where do we go for sound of the day today?
Well, Tombstone Tuesday tomorrow, in which you did promise us.
There are more clips coming tomorrow.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Let's see here. You know what? Let's do this. Let's open up.
Yes.
Let's head into the vault here. Let's do this today. All right, pick a number, any number. Nasty chat or text us 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Pick a number, any number, and we'll play. Let's see here. Is there a number?
36 for Jack Campbell.
What about 6-0 for that 6-0 game in the National Football League last night? Yeah. Let's see here. Let me find 6-0.
It'll be 59 or 61, won't it?
Well,
it always
let's
is.
see.
Whenever we land on a number.
Oh, we have a 60.
Yes.
And wait, did we play 60 already once? Maybe not. Tommy Gazzola.
What would be the odds?
All right.
job.
Let me bring up 60 here. We'll see what it is. It would be really weird. Have we played 60?
Of all the clips, you can't.
60. That would be quite the scene. It's just it's loading here. Then we'll get to the text of the day.
Oh, baby.
For A and W. Wow, this clip is taking forever to
It's a
load.
big one, eh?
What's going on here right now?
This. So it won't be a sigh of any sort. I can probably rule that out.
I don't know why that's taking so long to load. Yeah. We'll get to text of the day as well. This file's like shutting down my whole computer right now. What is happening here? What is happening?
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, there we
dun.
go.
Nope.
Okay, hang on. We got
Jesse
it. We got
Washington.
it. Let's see. This is from Happy Gilmore, I think. What is this? Why would we have had this in our system?
We could just end the show with this, too.
Sounds like something the Wild Stallions would have done in.
And it goes on like that? Is that just
yeah, that's it.
So it's
that's
a
all it
bed,
is. It's
as
just
we
a
say
song.
in
It's just a
the-
bed we
in the
had.
biz. Well, that was rather.
That was very disappointing.
Very
I've never heard that song before.
Time to pick another one, maybe.
My goodness. Yeah, we got.
We can't go out like that.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Jeez,
Pound
it's not on
sand?
Monday.
I mean, okay, give us
Touch
another
the
number.
grass
Give us
here.
another
Yeah,
number.
yeah,
There's got to
yeah.
be. There's got to be something better than that. My
Gus says
goodness. Pick a number, Eric.
26732.
Okay, what?
26732.
26732.
732.
26732.
Comes in from Gus.
Oh, hey, Gus. Did he say thanks, Gus?
That's just it. Just the
Two. What'd you say?
26732. 26,732.
26. Man, we got so many damn clips here. We gotta get these sorted out.
Yeah, Gus is adamant that we do that one, so he maybe.
Okay, one more turn. 26762.
26732.
Oh, 32. We have a 6-2.
Oh boy.
We don't have a 3-2. We have a 3-0.
Yeah.
And that's the next closest.
Do it.
All right, let's find out what this
This
one
bud's
is.
for you, Gus.
Gus, this better not suck, because then you can pound sand. Oh, this one's only 1 second.
It's serious.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's serious.
Say it's serious?
It's serious? It's I can't even recognize
It's
it.
serious.
Where's this from?
I have no idea what
this is like a
what
contest now. Like, win a prize. Where's this from?
It's serious.
Did serious?
It's serious.
I think it says, is Get Serious?
Get serious.
I think it might be Get Serious. Man.
Well.
Sound of the day.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Tombstone Tuesday. Tombstone Tuesday tomorrow. That's 2 clips I don't even recall having on our old
I didn't
show.
mind the bed, though. I didn't mind that. Not for a sound of the day, but that's got some legs to it, baby.
We didn't run a bunch of royalty-free stuff back then, so... I mean, odds are we'll be blocked on YouTube now. Thanks, Random Sounds.
No.
Text. No. That'll be tomorrow for sure. All right, text of the day. Boy, where do we... Man, we got a lot of good texts today. I want to go back to... Let's see here.
Actually, it was a strong day on a Monday.
Yeah,
it was a strong Monday for the text game.
Can you search actual names in the...
Who do you need? What do you need?
I want Chris Sadaway.
Oh, yeah. Actually, he was a winner, too, I think, last week. He's been on a bit of a heater here. Drive Henday, is that what you're talking?
Yeah.
Drive
Was
Henday?
that him?
Yeah, I got him.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He was Drive
That's your
Henday.
text today. We're thinking of, like, mean things you can say to people, like pound sand and kick rocks. And Drive Henday.
It's that 2-word
Probably
count.
the meanest thing that came up.
Very strong, punchy.
Yeah. Congratulations to Chris. He's going to A&W. We got a $20 gift card to A&W. For the month of December, you can enjoy 2 delicious A&W Mama Burgers for only $9.99. Can somebody say romantic dinner? Right?
Well, that's
one for
on
you.
a great budget,
One
yeah.
for your significant other. Less than $10. That's pretty amazing. It's available at all participating locations. Most A&W drive-thrus are open 24 hours, and the ones that aren't are just owned by lazy people. Right? Because if not, you'd be open 24 hours. I don't know why you wouldn't be. All right, what are you watching tonight, man? I know where you're going to be.
Absolutely. It is Monday night. Monday Night Football, Jaguars, Bengals. You can join me live, Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Myself, hopefully Trevor Savage. Renee's always there. She's got the prizes, the goods. We got a free square board, $11.99 loaded burger. You also get a deal on some beer and highballs with that. The off-track betting, which was going absolutely wild Thursday night.
Was it?
That's something on its own that you can come witness. But it's like Vegas. Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. The lights are bright, the air is pure, and the football will be great tonight. Jaguars, Bengals, $11.99 loaded burger, beer highball special as well, free square board, NFL paraphernalia on the line, and just a great night out as well. So head on down, and I'll get you a drink.
I just want to come and play the slots the whole time.
I'm
not even going to come in and say hi.
Come get gammon.
I want people to walk by and come into you and be like, I think I saw Dusty out there playing the slots. That's it.
On a heater. Come do the backgammon. I'd like to see you in Forgive.
I'm anti-backgammon now.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah,
Oh.
I've just decided that I'm like going to be the
really hate it.
anti-backgammon
Yeah.
guy with the company.
That's a hell of an angle.
Yeah. No, that's me. Oh, you guys playing backgammon again? That's stupid.
Yeah. You're
It's
more
like
of a harness racing
it's like
guy,
something
eh?
Phrase would say. Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us. Josh Clausen is in on the hangout today. Maddie and Tommy are locked and loaded, ready to go. That should be a good one. Make sure autoplay is on YouTube. We'll take you straight on over there. If you are listening on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, you're going to hear Whale and the Wolf for a little bit. They are EST house band. I saw them pop up into the chat today, actually.
Yeah, they were in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was nice.
They're hovering.
Thanks for popping by, boys.
Always monitoring.
Always got to check it out. How much of our songs are you playing? The more the merrier, I think. For YouTube Trev, Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielson. Join him tonight at the casino. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. I'll be back with Lock Shop at 11. Oil Stream coming up at noon today. We'll talk about this idea of a possible Jack Campbell revenge tour. It just doesn't get any better than this, eh? Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. Have a great day and take it easy.